And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Tate versus Enrico. Step forward, please.
Community advocate Valoria Tate is suing her neighbor, Secretary Laura Enrico, for slander and damage caused by her cats.
Miss Tate, it is your claim that the defendant's cats damaged some of your property. The two of you are neighbors and share a common garage and storage area. Is that right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And that sometime later, when you tried to remedy this situation yourself, the defendant posted flyers around or passed out flyers in the neighborhood accusing you of trying to poison animals and children.
After her neurotic behavior.
Okay. So how long have the two of you been neighbors and share this common space?
I've lived there 5 years, and I'm not sure. I would say she's been there maybe 2 years.
Year and a half now.
Year and a half. You have two cats?
Yes.
Now tell me about this common space that you share.
I have pictures of the common area.
I'd like to see them, please.
That's supposedly where all of us can use the patio area. And I explained to my neighbor that I'm highly allergic to pets, and I can't go down there and entertain myself or my friends as long as cats are living on our tables.
Go ahead.
So I have several pictures.
Is this the common space that you share?
That's part of it. That's in the garage, and that's my personal space. That table was made for me. It's actually higher than a normal
Just
table.
show me the
Okay.
Just show me the private space that you have for storage.
This space.
Okay. So tell me how her cats destroyed your property.
Well, before they destroyed my literature that I placed in my garage and covered it very well with bags and mothballs, they've already destroyed a couple of plant pots, and used the bathroom in my plant pot.
Did you see that, or did you just
I
assume?
saw that, and when I saw it, I nicely went over to Laura and I told her, "Your cat's potted in my plant and my pot," and she would come over, clean it up and say a few nasty things, but she would clean it up. The second time I did that, she was a little more angrier, and she literally went down to the patio, to the common court area, and she turns around like this. "Some people don't want my cat to, but not poop." Laura has this thing about you can't tell her to clean up behind her own pets because she feels, as she kind of indicated, cats have a right to.
All right, she'll tell me what she feels.
Okay. So therefore, I went to the management. They said they have approached her several times. They pointed out in this CNRs, the rules, that we can only have house pets. In fact, I asked my owner before I moved. I said, "I'm highly allergic."
Can I see the house rules, please?
Yeah. I told him, I said, "I'm highly allergic to pets. Do they have pets?" He says, "No, only house pets."
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Valoria Tate says condo neighbor Laura Enrico owes for property damage caused by her cats. Valoria also claims Laura distributed a slanderous flyer calling her a pet killer.
Well, I've read the rules, and the rules clearly say that no pet is to be in a common area. Dog has to be kept on a leash at all times. Is this a picture of your cat on the table?
I can't see it.
Would you give that to her, please?
It's a black cat.
And is your cat a black cat?
He was, yes.
Now, after certain of your property was destroyed, and in your complaints say that you found that her cat urinated on a box, right? And there was literature in that box.
Yes.
What did you do?
What did I do?
Complaint, you put mothballs around the area.
Oh, the reason I put the mothballs is before I left for the trip, her cat was in my area up on top of my boxes. I have never seen the cats on the boxes before at that time. So I went into the house, I had some mothballs, left the boxes on the boxes so you can see what they were, and I went on my trip.
Okay. You had a confrontation with the defendant and a friend of hers accusing you of trying to poison children and animals.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And then you said that there were some flyers that were distributed. I'd like to see those.
Your Honor, the flyers were placed on everyone's door in our entire complex. There's 26 units.
Did you place this around?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
You got some nerve. You got some nerve.
I have concern for the animals and the children in the complex.
I want to tell you something. You got some nerve. If you have animals that in any way interfere with your neighbor's peaceful enjoyment of their property, you keep your animals in the house. What right do you have to let your animals outside into common areas, on tables, on chairs? What right do you have to do that? None. And You are so arrogant, as to say the last line here is, if you have a problem with allergies, dislikes, phobias, or such about animals in the building, it might be suggested to move to another building. And you go through this whole grandfather clause because two people had cats that were outside. You say now it's grandfathered, so your cats can be outside. If you want to have house pets and you want to let them outside, go buy a house in the woods and let your animals out in the woods where they don't bother anybody. But you live in a condominium complex where there are lots of other people. And it is possible that some adults, some children are afraid of cats. Somebody might want to come and put their lunch on the table, and your cat has just been walking around after walking around in feces, now walks around on the table. That's outrageous. And your reaction is, what? Cats will be cats? I mean, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not, but my cats aren't the only ones in the courtyard. We have a lot of strays that come into the garage and come
That
into the
may
courtyard.
be. She can't complain about strays. Strays are not your problem. Your problem is your two cats. Because you are an owner or a tenant.
I'm an owner.
As an owner, you should want to do everything that you can to preserve the integrity of your space. What are you laughing about? Are you on medication?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not, Your Honor, but the demonstrations of irrationality never occurred. She threatened me. She followed me.
Let me ask you this question. Did you ever check with the management company to find out whether Miss Tate ever had any problems with prior tenants?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Did you ever have problems with prior tenants?
No.
I would say that you probably didn't. You keep your cats in your house because that's what the rules say. Specifically, rules that you gave and you signed for when you bought your condominium specifically said that only these two people, long gone, could have their cats out in the courtyard. You signed it. I assume when you signed it, you read it. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
So why didn't you abide by the rules you signed and read? The rules are your cats stay in your house. Yeah, right. And this is nasty.
Don't like having my animals threatened to be killed.
Well, why don't you keep your animals in your house?
I will from now on.
Perfect. Did we just solve that problem?
Yes, you did, Your Honor.
Fine. She doesn't mention your name in this, does she?
No.
Now, it's very possible that other people knew what she was talking about, but she doesn't mention your name.
May I share with you why she didn't have to?
Go ahead.
Because she made such a big scene about I was trying to kill these cats and children. All the neighbors heard it, and then she called the police. Well, they knew there was only one person she was referring to.
That I can't tell you what they knew.
But
she does not mention your name in this flyer. But certainly, Miss Enrico has agreed at this point, is that right, Miss Enrico, that you will keep your cats in your home from now on?
Yes.
Is that correct? Is
Yes,
that right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That seems to solve the problem. I will prepare that order, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Shrek versus Hagar. Step forward, please.
26-year-old employment specialist Catherine Schreck is suing her former lover, railroad conductor Brian Hager, for an unpaid loan to get back on his feet.
Miss Schreck, the defendant used to be your boyfriend. According to you, you made a loan to him in the amount of $1,000. Mr. Hager says that you did, in fact, give him $1,000. It was just that, a gift, not a loan. When was this $1,000 check, and it was a check, is that right,
Yes, Your Honor.
given to Mr. Hager?
The check was written on January 22nd, 2002, and it was cashed on January 24th, 2002.
Tell me the circumstances of the check, Ms. Schreck.
He
That's
was
right, just a
unemployed at
second.
the time.
Tell me of the circumstances of the check,
The check.
Ms. Schreck.
Mr. Hager was unemployed at the time, and he was also experiencing other financial hardships. And
How long had you been dating him at the time?
Approximately 3 weeks. He had disclosed that his ex-girlfriend was possibly pregnant and that he was the father. At that point, I had determined that I did not want to further the relationship beyond a friendship. However, I felt bad for him at the situation that he was in at the time. He had expressed that he was waiting for his tax return to come in.
Just a second. So if his ex-girlfriend thought she was pregnant, what did that have to do with money?
He didn't need money for that. It was just added stress in his life.
Who cares?
I cared. He was my friend at the time. I felt bad.
What were
for
you
him.
doing?
I'm a facilitator for San Bernardino Jobs and Employment Services Department. I teach welfare recipients how to get jobs.
Good. Oh, you should have taught him. What kind of work were you doing at the railroad, sir?
I'm a conductor.
And you were let go?
No, ma'am. I was just laid off temporarily due to a slowdown.
For how long?
6 months.
And what did you do during that 6-month period?
Things are hard everywhere, so I just I collected railroad unemployment. Which
How much?
It's $1,000 a month.
And where were you living?
I own a home.
And you have a mortgage?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the mortgage?
Mortgage was $1,700.
So you were really short. Where'd you get the other money from? Did you have savings?
Yes, ma'am. I had money saved up in my bank account.
Now, you tell her that you're having some financial difficulties. And so what did you do?
So I offered to give him a loan.
What did you say to him? What did he say to you?
I said, my father just gave me $1,000 for Christmas. I just received my student financial aid. I don't need it at the time, but I will need it in several months. He said that he was expecting his tax return, and as soon as he got that, he would pay me back.
Okay,
so
where were
in
you?
the span of 2 months.
Where were you when you had this conversation with him?
At his home.
Remember what date it was? Was it the 22nd of January?
Yes, it was.
That's not true, Your Honor. When she had given me the check...
Tell me about why you would tell this lady that you are having any financial trouble anyway.
Well, she could just tell that I was stressed. We were upstairs in my room, we were just talking, watching TV, and she just, she said, "What's the matter?" I said, "Well, I'm stressed out right now because, I'm having some financial problems with being laid off." She said, "Well, I got plenty of money. Why don't you just let me help you out?" And I said, No, it'll be okay. I'm going to be going back to work." We talked about it for a little bit longer, and once again, I said, "No, it'll be all right." And I went downstairs, got a drink of water. I was coming back upstairs. She met me halfway. She said, "I'm going to go home. I have to go to work in the morning." I left you a surprise upstairs in your room. And I went back upstairs to my room, and there was a check for $1,000.
So what'd you do?
I called her cell phone and said, "Why'd you leave me this money?" She said, "Because I care about you, and I want to see you be okay." She said, "Just consider it a gift."
I don't know if she said that. Listen to me. Shh. Are you her mother? You didn't hear the story that he just told? That's more real than what she told me. So you can laugh all you like. That's pretty much what happened, except just consider it a gift. That she didn't say. Don't go overboard, Mr. Hager. When you're ahead of the game, don't stretch the truth. The truth was pretty good for a while. Probably was a gift. I don't believe that you asked her for a loan, that there was a repayment schedule. I don't believe any of that. You have to understand that, Ms. Schreck. But now I have a question for you, because I was interested. When I wanted to hear what you had to say, Mr. Hager, I believe you, that that's how it came about.
Yes, ma'am.
Because that's what she would do. And she said, I cared about him being stressed. That's what girls do when they're in like. But then she was no longer in like with you, and you were no longer in like with her, and then we got the $1,000 that you've already spent, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But you look like a sort of responsible young man. How old are you?
29.
And you own your own home?
Yes, ma'am.
So it didn't work out with her. So wouldn't a responsible man of 29 years old, a homeowner, you own your own car, I'm sure you have a bank account, you told me you lived off savings,
Yes, ma'am.
right? But then you went back to work. Why didn't you start giving her back this money?
She had told me it was a gift.
Mr. Hager, she's not your mother, is she?
No, ma'am.
She's not a sister. She's not even your best friend, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So then what a moral person does is say, you helped me out, I needed it, we're not together, I want to start paying you back this $1,000, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't that what a moral person does?
Yes, ma'am.
So you do want to be a moral person, don't you, Mr. Hager?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000, that's all.
Yeah, on the case number 336 on the calendar in the matter of Sirakowski versus Doe. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Ms. Sirakowski, you were running some sort of a baby contest or baby pageant.
Yes.
And the defendant entered her baby. She wrote out a check. Her baby entered the contest. Her baby didn't win. She stopped payment on the check. You want your money, right?
Yes, I do.
The defendant says that the contest was rigged, so she stopped payment on the check. Tell me about this pageant.
All right, Your Honor, this whole case is about this lady who has a major...
Shh. Pay attention to my question. Then we'll get along just fine. I said, tell me about the pageant. I'll figure out what this lady has or has not.
All right. It is a national pageant system. We did have a baby contest in it. Her baby did participate.
Where is this pageant or contest held?
It was held in Springfield, Illinois.
How many babies were entered?
There were 9 babies all told, 5 in her age division.
So tell me how it works. You advertised and you said there's going to be a baby contest. These are the age categories. And it says that you have to send in a fee for the contest?
Yes, you do.
Okay, and how much is that fee?
The deposit was $150. She pays the remainder of any fees when she reaches the pageant.
Now, what happens if they win this contest in Springfield?
If they win the contest, they win money.
How much?
She could have won a $500 bond. Actually, she could have won a $2,000 bond as an overall winner.
Overall winner
of one baby of the 2 age divisions.
Okay, so she sent in her $150.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
And then you travel to Springfield.
Correct.
And how much then does she have to pay once she gets to Springfield?
Depending on the events that she entered would decide how much more that she did owe.
What do you mean? I thought she just entered one baby contest.
There's several different categories.
Like what?
Photogenic, there is playwear, there is sleepwear, there are the prettiest, eyes, hair, fashion.
And what do you win if you win the prettiest pajamas?
You can win a plaque, a laser engraved plaque.
A plaque.
Yes.
And each time she enters one of these little contests for the baby who looks nicest in their pajamas, there's an additional fee. Is that what you're telling me?
There is a fee for each thing that you do, yes, ma'am.
Sounds like a good business to me. And how many babies, for instance, entered in that contest if you have there the best-looking baby in pajamas?
They all entered.
All 9 of them?
Yes.
And how much was the cost of each one of them entering that?
Well, it was $35 per category for that.
And how many of these little categories, eyes, pajamas, playwear, how many of those are there?
There are 5 for the babies.
And for that, they get a plaque or a certificate if they win each
They
one.
could get a trophy.
Or a trophy.
The people who win money, crowns, and banners, and the big trophies are the queens.
I'm just talking about the things other than cash. So this is for you a business.
Absolutely, it's a business.
We're not talking about the baby who wins this contest gets to do some sort of a pilot for a movie. This is just pure ego on the part of parents. Is that right?
I would say so, yes.
Absolutely. It's just pure ego. Okay, Miss Joe, now I'll hear you.
Okay, we did do the pageant. My daughter was offered the prizes of the state queens, the savings bond that originated from her state pageant that I attended in Michigan. That's the only reason we attended her nationals, to receive the savings bond. We went to nationals, we did the pageant, everything was fine, except for she didn't have the savings bond. She said she would overnight it to me. So I started on my way home when I started looking over Lily's scores, which were amazing. So I called the hotel.
Just 1 second. So you tell me she owes you a savings bond?
Correct.
Do you owe her a savings bond from a previous pageant?
No, ma'am, I don't owe her a savings bond. She did receive the savings bond. And, in fact, I didn't owe her the bond. The Michigan director did. She overnighted the bond to me. I told Miss Doe the day of the crowning it hadn't arrived yet, but it was coming, and I would send it to her.
Did you send the bond?
Yes, ma'am, I sent the bond.
Well, I assume then you have the number of the bond, that you can trace it. Now, how much was the bond for?
$100, Your Honor.
It's a $100 bond. We're not talking about a lot of money. But if you didn't send the bond to her, and you were supposed to, that you have to do. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand
Good.
that.
Perfect. I don't want to see anything.
This is the letter she received with the bond, and it tells about the bond. So if she didn't get the bond, why didn't she speak up? I got this letter, but I didn't get the bond with it.
That's what she says.
She's lying.
That's
Please
what she
read
says.
that.
That's what she says. If she did not get the bond, she has to get the bond. All right, but let's go on with why you didn't pay the rest of these fees.
I proceeded on my way home. I didn't check the scores. I just figured, okay, my daughter placed 4th. She's done that before. She's had her wins. She's had her losses.
How many contests have you entered with her?
Beauty pageants, I've done maybe about a dozen of them.
Why?
They have prizes up to $10,000 savings bonds. It's always worth a shot. But anyways, I started checking the scores on the way home. My daughter has amazing scores, 9.8, 9.9. For instance, sleepwear, she got 2 9.8s and a 9.9. Possible 30 points, she got, what would that be, 29.5. I've consulted with 2 other directors who said it's not physically possible 4 babies scored higher than a 29.5 out of 30 possible. Judges don't give straight 10s and straight 9.9s. I called her on the way home twice. Once she was in the pageant still, once I left a voicemail. She didn't return them. I contacted the state director who said to try contacting the parents. Maybe the parents will tell me the daughter's scores.
That's not true.
Well,
Don't speak.
I heard from 2 parents.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Don't give me hearsay.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, I tried emailing her twice when I didn't receive the bond. Didn't get any results. So I filed a complaint with PayPal, the one I paid her through. They tried contacting her. She ignored them also and refunded my money because they couldn't reach her. They gave her 10 days to respond to the notice.
Okay,
and
just one second. Just one second. PayPal. What's PayPal?
It's an online computer where you can pay them through your debit, credit.
They didn't have anything to do with the bond. You told PayPal that you didn't receive merchandise.
That would be the savings bond.
You wasn't
No, is
supposed
that-
to receive any
just a second.
merchandise from me.
Shh. Don't speak to her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you have nothing better to do with your time than to take her around to show off her beauty, then what you're telling them from a very early age is that they are judged by the way they look, which is a very stupid thing to do.
And later today,
James had made threats to us and
That's
to
not
our
true,
home.
Robbie. I don't want to
When
hear you,
everything
Robbie.
turned violent, we had to have him escorted off the property twice.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Child Beauty Pageant Director Gladys Sirakowski says Victoria Doe owes for the entrance fee for her daughter. Victoria says she stopped payment because the pageant was rigged.
Still, the reason that you stopped payment was not because of this bond that you say you
There were
did
two reasons,
receive.
'cause she wouldn't return
That you
my calls
say you
about the
didn't
scoring.
receive. The problem was you thought your daughter should have won the contest. As a matter of fact,
Not
when you
one
talk,
place somewhere higher. Yes, I do. 2 other judges or directors agreed.
They weren't there.
There were 5 babies in the
listen
division.
to me. Don't speak to her. How many times do I have to explain to you not to speak to her? You say in your answer that you believe the pageant was rigged. That's why you didn't pay her. It had nothing to do with the bond.
That's not true.
Well,
I
that's
had
what you
2
say in your
reasons.
answer, madam. And that's the only reason that this PayPal would not pay. If you had said to them, I entered my daughter in a contest and I think the contest was rigged and I want to stop paying, they would say, that's not a reason to stop. Listen, Ms. Doe, you want to schlep your daughter from one state to another to be in beauty pageants. That's totally up to you. I cannot discourage you from doing that. Sometimes she's going to win, sometimes she's not going to win. Sometimes somebody's going to be a favorite, and sometimes the whole thing is going to be a sham. If you have nothing better to do with your time than to take her around to show off her beauty, that's a very sad. How old is she?
2.
I would say at 2, you should be sitting home reading books to her, not schlepping her around from one beauty pageant to another. If you don't understand by now that this lady is in business to make money.
I understand that, Your Honor, but it's
Just a
also
sec.
her job to
Listen to me.
consult with parents.
Listen to no, it
You
isn't.
can't take the money
No,
from
it
her.
isn't. You got to pay the money. You don't like this contest? Don't enter it again. You think without witnesses I'm going to find that this contest was rigged? It's not going to happen. I want to tell you something. Very, very good expression. Beauty fades, dumb is forever. What you're supposed to do if you have a daughter is to try to teach her that her mind is more important than her face. And I know that this isn't very good for the plaintiff's business, but if everybody out there would try to understand that what's in here is much more important long-term than what's here, and that usually children do not thrive from being schlepped from one place to another and primped and made up, dressed up, because then what you're telling them from a very early age is that they are judged by the way they look, which is a very stupid thing to do. Stupidity here does not get rewarded. She's entitled to her money, $321. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm very happy to be getting the money back that's owed to me,
If they weren't going to award my daughter properly, then I deserve the refund.
but I'm not happy with the picture painted of pageants and my business.
Everybody has their own opinion.
She's got a big case of sour grapes.
When you leave a 17-year-old alone, unsupervised, they get into trouble. You understand that?
Yes.
This is a bill for therapy.
She's been in counseling ever since, and I have a letter from her psychiatrist stating that.
It's your bill. Next time you stay home with your daughter. You paid $2,600 for the car. A year and a half ago, I've taken off $600 for the year that she drove the car, year and some months that she drove the car, leaving the value of the car $2,000. I consider both of you responsible. You responsible and you responsible for what happened to the car. Do you understand?
Yes.
So, she's going to pay some and you're going to pay some. Is that reasonable?
Yes.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Your Honor, this is case number 372 on the calendar in the matter of Watson versus Martinez. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Watson, you claim a loan to the defendant in the amount of $1,400 for a couple of things. to bring his daughter out for a visit and then to help pay his mortgage. In addition to that, you claim that he defrauded you out of $500, some sort of an investment. You want that money back. You want a total of $1,900. Yes, Mr. Martinez says that he did, in fact, take some money from you, but that money was a gift, that you insisted upon giving it to him because he had fallen on some difficult financial times, and that the $500 investment that you made in his business was just that, an investment that didn't work out, and you lost your money. How do you know him?
We met at a charity ball, and I met him during a function.
When?
I believe December of 2000.
When did you first give him money?
July of 2001.
What kind of relationship did you have with him between December of 2000 and July of 2001?
We were involved very closely in that we were friends and intimately associated.
You considered yourself his female friend?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now tell me about the first loan.
The largest loan was $1,000 because he was behind on a mortgage payment.
Tell me about it.
Well, I just felt sorry for him and went ahead and told him that he begged me for the money, and I told him...
Tell me. Let's start from the beginning. He came to you, you were out for dinner, you were out someplace, he said to you, I'm behind in my mortgage. I want to know exactly how it came about.
No, he had been telling me along that he had had some money problems, and his girlfriend wasn't able to help him with his money problems, and that she was taking a lot of money.
So he had a girlfriend?
Yes, he has a girlfriend.
Well, what was he doing with you if he had a girlfriend?
Well, we were just really more friends than anything else, and I would give him a lot of advice, and our relationship was in that he's a truck driver. We'd talk over the phone a lot, and it was over the phone that he told me that really where he needed the money. So it wasn't over dinner or anything.
Go ahead.
And so I did have the money wired or electronically transferred.
No, I want you to tell me about it.
Oh, about our relationship?
No, about the $1,000, madam.
The $1,000, I did go ahead and have it wired.
I believe that you gave him $1,000. I want to know the circumstances surrounding you giving him the $1,000.
Well, I loaned him the $1,000.
That's what you say?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, since I'm not getting it from you, I'm going to go to Mr. Martinez. Mr. Martinez, she gave you $1,000. Tell me how that came about, sir.
She wired it to my account. She took $1,000, gave it to me. I told her I needed some help with the bills, and
You told her you needed help with the bills, and...
I said I'm behind. She was away. I was by myself. So I needed some money. I didn't have no help. She offered to help.
What did she say?
She says if you need
No, look at me.
If you need some money, I have money, and if you need to borrow some or whatever, it's here for you if you need it.
Good. And you said I need to borrow it.
I need about $1,000 to pay my bills.
So she sent you the money. So why didn't you pay it?
At
Look here.
that time, I didn't have any money.
That doesn't mean that it's not a loan, sir. That means that you didn't have the money then to pay her back.
Didn't have the money to pay her back and couldn't pay her back.
That doesn't mean it wasn't a loan.
Well, if it was a loan, I would have had to sign some kind of receipt or some kind of paperwork saying that, hey, you
You just told me you borrowed the money from her. You used that word. I asked her if I could borrow some money from her.
Okay. Maybe I should have used a different word then.
That's not, maybe you should have, but that's the word that you used.
Okay. I took the $1,000 from
You
her.
borrowed it.
Okay.
And you didn't have money to pay her back. That doesn't mean you don't owe it to her. What's next?
Well, Your Honor, the reason...
Shh, I didn't ask you. I said, what's next? $1,000 I have. Hello?
Oh, no, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I thought you I think the reason he didn't have the $1,000...
I don't care what the reason is.
Yes,
why he didn't have the $1,000. He owes you so far $1,000.
Yes, ma'am.
What's
what
next?
Else? Well, there was $500 for the investment.
I don't care about the investment. You were dumb enough to give him $500 for an investment. That's your problem. Let's go to the next thing.
I think he didn't have the money because Michelle wasn't there to give it to him. Okay.
Can
Michelle was
are you
in
finished
jail.
with Are you finished with the $1,000?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
all he owes you, $1,000?
No, ma'am.
Then I want you to get to it. I didn't ask you anything else.
All right. There's the $500 in the e-toys.
Just a second. Miss Watson.
Yes?
You're not paying attention to me.
I'm sorry.
I told you, if you were dumb enough to give him invest in a business for $500 with him, and he didn't have enough money to pay his own rent, you don't get that money back.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't. Good. Now, so far, he has admitted, reluctantly, to owing you $1,000. Does he owe you any more money?
Yes, ma'am, he does. But he is such
You want to get to it!
Yes, ma'am.
What is it? What was it for? When did you give it to him?
He's such a scoundrel that...
That's it. I'm finished with you, Miss Watson. I'm finished with you. I asked you a simple question. The simple question is, we got to the $1,000. He owes you the $1,000.
Yes, ma'am.
He doesn't owe you $500 that you invested with him. Is there any other money that he owes you? What you have to say is yes, how much it was, what you gave it to him for. If you're not going to answer that question directly, Miss Watson, I'm going to give you an award of $1,000 and say goodbye. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do. He does owe me another $900.
No, he doesn't. You want to tell me what the $900 is for?
I do have documentation on monies that were given to him when he did ask me for a loan, and I do have FYI when I did fax him the information. And
Ms. Watson, is there something wrong with you?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You invested in a bad deal, period. End of discussion. That leaves $400 left, not $900. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And later today,
I don't remember getting hit. I got hit 3 times, actually.
Started drinking some liquor, then Nita started wilding.
She started what?
Wilding.
What is that?
Acting crazy.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rebecca Watson says former lover Larry Martinez owes for a series of loans and for an investment she made in his business.
Your lawsuit is for $1,900.
Yes, ma'am.
$1,000 loan. Something for a plane ticket or something to bring his daughter out.
That's
and then
correct.
Quiet! And then $500 that you say you invested with him. I've already told you I'm discounting the $500. He does not owe you the $500. You invested in a bad deal, period. End of discussion. That leaves $400 left, not $900. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what was the other $400 for?
The other $400 was in petty cash and plane ticket that he needed to...
I'm not interested in petty cash.
...get his daughter
I'm
back
not interested
to New York.
in petty cash. What was the plane ticket?
The plane ticket was about $300.
What do you mean about $300?
It was $300 because I gave him $100 for being able to get in the airport.
Show me the $300 plane ticket. Show me where it was. Where did you buy the $300 plane ticket?
No, I gave him the money as a loan because he needed to get his daughter from New York.
How much was the plane ticket to get your daughter from New York to wherever?
About $250. That has nothing to do with the money that she gave me. Was $1,000 towards my bills. That money came out of my pocket for the plane ticket.
So she didn't give you $250. No. You have any evidence that you put that plane ticket on your credit card?
No, ma'am.
Good. So you got $1,000, Miss Watson. That's it, period. That's what you say you owe her? That's what you borrowed. Okay. Is that right? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
There were, times that she was in jail and she was gone and not able to be with him. I didn't know all this at the time. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend.
Well, I was away. The cat played.
Larry is a real scoundrel, and he's got a woman at every port.
I thought she was my friend, and she was cheating on me. Both of them.
You learn from your mistakes. I'm not going to be doing that anymore.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Griffin versus Harris. Step forward, please.
Sales rep Aaron Griffin is suing his ex-girlfriend, nurse's aide Darlene Harris, for the return of his personal property and for having him falsely arrested. Darlene says Aaron broke into her apartment.
Mr. Griffin, you are suing the defendant, who was your former girlfriend, because you say she had you falsely arrested for burglarizing her property, when what you were actually trying to do was to get some of your stuff out because she had thrown you out. Ms. Harris said that you did, in fact, break in and all the property that you wanted belonged to her. Is that right?
Right.
Were you living together?
I had my own home.
Is that right?
No, he was living in my house.
Did he also have his own home?
Well, yes.
What was your stuff doing in her apartment?
We had decided to spend 2 weeks together. After a few days, I recognized that she didn't have some items. She didn't have a television in the bedroom. She didn't have a living room set. So I decided to move some of my belongings from my home over to her residence.
What did you move over?
I brought over my living room set, a television.
Which consisted of what?
Consisted of a cherry oak table, 8 chairs. I also brought over a 19-inch television, a portable CD player, my clothing, some dishes, glasses, silverware, and also...
She didn't have any of that stuff?
She had some of it, but incomplete sets.
She didn't have enough for you to eat off for 2 weeks?
Well, I wanted to assist, and as I said...
You wanted to assist in what?
Assist her in some of the items that she didn't have.
And so after 2 weeks, it didn't work out. What happened, Mr. Griffin?
Well, we had planned to get married, and there was an issue in that I was still married and needed to get a divorce.
That's what Miss Harris said.
Yeah.
That's what Miss Harris said. She said when you brought the 8 chairs in, she didn't know you still had 8 chairs and a wife. Okay, so what happened?
She didn't apparently want to wait until I could get a divorce. So I decided that it was time for me to move out. That Monday morning, we had one final argument, and I left, but I did leave my belongings in the residence. The argument had gotten very bitter, and I decided that it was just best if I leave at that point.
That was smart.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Upon my return, I found that the defendant was not in her residence, and the door was locked. I did have she had given me a key when I first arrived from Texas.
But she took the key off the ring.
Right, unbeknownst to me.
How do you retrieve your articles?
Well, actually, I came in through the side window. I kind of pushed it up and climbed in.
But how do you get them? You brought over table, chairs, TVs, CDs. Where were you going to put all this stuff?
Well, I was going to place all of the items that I could carry into my vehicle.
What kind of vehicle do you have?
A Mercury Sable.
Is it one of those expandable Mercury Sables?
No, Your Honor. It's average size.
So you weren't planning too well?
I guess not, no.
So what happened? You crawl into the house and you open up a window, crawl into the house, and what happened next, sir?
I commenced to packing my clothing and my luggage, and the doorbell rang. And when the doorbell rang, I went to the door thinking it was the defendant.
It wasn't the defendant, it was the?
Police, right. It was the police upon me opening the door, but I thought it was the defendant.
Okay, what you thought. What you thought was irrelevant.
Okay.
It's okay, so you opened the door and it was the police. Go ahead.
Correct. They asked me what my name was. I said Aaron Griffin. They said, you're now under arrest, and they charged me with burglary. The defendant indicated that she didn't know me.
Really?
I had broken in.
Just a second. Did you tell the police you didn't know him?
No. No, I never told. No.
You should have told him to call his wife. She knows him.
Very well.
Were you there when she said she didn't know you?
They were actually leading me down the stairs of the porch. And she was standing in front of the house with the police.
Yes.
She said she didn't know me, that I had broken in.
That's pretty nasty if you did it.
I never said that. I never said that.
Okay. So let's talk about this report that you made to the police. Tell me about that.
I was coming up my street with my sister-in-law, and I saw his vehicle in my driveway. Shouldn't have been in my driveway because I had taken the key off the key ring. I was scared. We had an argument, and I was...
So you called the police?
I called the police, and they met me at my house. They saw the window, and they arrested him.
They saw the window what?
It was broken.
How was it broken? The glass was broken?
Yes.
Did you break the glass?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you've left that out. You said you just pushed the window up a little bit. So you broke the window to get in?
Yes, I did.
That's not false arrest. You can't do that. It's not your house. You can't break a window to get in. So that takes care of your false arrest charge. Now you want all your furniture back.
Yes, I do.
Table, 8 chairs, 19-inch television, CD, dishes. You have all that stuff?
No, I do not.
Where is it?
I put it into the trash. I got rid of it.
Oh, no, Miss Harris, listen to me. You know how I caught him in fibs? That's a fib. You want to tell me what you did with this table and 8 chairs?
That's what I did with it.
Well,
I woke up one day and I was upset and I didn't want any reminder of him in my house, and I put that stuff out.
You put it out? Good.
Yes.
You pay for it. That was the wrong thing to do.
Well,
that was the wrong thing to do.
We were getting married and had a wife.
Listen to me. That was the wrong thing for you to do. You acted impulsively, and it was the wrong thing to do, so you have to pay for it. I don't believe that you just took it outside and threw it out. You may have given it to somebody.
Well, people in the neighborhood, I'm sure they came and took the stuff up off the curb.
Including
but
the television?
Exactly
including the television set?
Yes.
That's fine, then you pay for it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,250. But that's it, Mr. Griffin. That's all.
This is okay. Yeah, this is case number 244 on the calendar in the matter Hesevic versus Boudreaux Whitney. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Hesevic, it is your complaint that because of the defendant's conduct in reporting certain behavior that really never happened on your part, that you lost your job. You want to be compensated for that. Is that
Yes,
correct?
That's correct.
And the defendants say that they had some business dealings with you. They found your conduct unacceptable. They reported that to your boss, and they had a legitimate right to do that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What kind of business were you in?
I sold the gutter cover to keep debris out of gutters.
And how long had you worked for them?
About 4 or 5 months.
How did you find the defendants, or they found you?
They called in, I think, on a radio ad.
Is that true?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened that caused you to call and make a complaint about the plaintiff?
Your Honor, basically it was just Karen's behavior. We were very interested in the product. It looked very good. And I expressed to her in the beginning.
Tell me what the product looks like.
It's actually a sheet metal device that goes over your gutter to deflect the needles and leaves off the gutter and allow the water to go in. Awesome product. Anyhow, we were very interested in the product. Karen came out to the house. We asked her to do an estimate. She left me with a tape and a sample of the product. I expressed to her that I wanted my wife to see the tape because she wasn't home at the time.
What date was that?
I believe that was the Saturday, the 24th, I believe was that was the date, yeah. Anyhow, she expressed to me that she needed the tape back. It was her last tape. And I clearly understood that and promised her we'd get it back to her. My wife got home late that evening, didn't get a chance to view the tape. The next day, she did, which was a Sunday. We in turn decided at that point that we had some friends that would be interested in the product as well. So we figured we'd hang on to it till Monday and get it back to her. Over the weekend, Karen left several nasty grams on my telephone, on my cell phone, expressing her desire to get the product back.
The tape back.
Right. Come Monday, she made a phone call or two to the house, which my wife, Whitney, answered, and she can tell you basically what took place
She called
there.
me on the phone. She called me on the phone and she says, I really need to get my tape back. And I said, well, I got a friend that owns a gutter company, and I wanted to let them see it to see if they thought it was credible, that it might work. And she goes, well, I really need to get my tape back. I says, well, do you only have one tape? She goes, yep, I only have one tape. I go, well, okay, fine. I said, come get it. And she did.
On what date did she come?
It was on Monday evening.
Okay.
Which would have been the 26th, Your Honor.
Okay,
Yeah,
so what
26.
happened when plaintiff came and got the tape?
At that point, Your Honor, I'd arrived home from work, and I got a knock on the door, and it was Karen. She was obviously upset. I said nothing at first, went and got the tape, handed it to her, and said, I apologize that you didn't get it back as quick as you wanted based on the messages I retrieved. She was obviously upset. She got cranky with me and, grabbed it out of my hands and was obviously not real happy about the whole thing. And I said, Karen, the product that you're representing is awesome. I love it. We're interested in it. But the way you're treating me, I'm not going to buy anything from you. Her response was, I don't want to sell you anything. And I said, fine. Then I asked her to leave or I'd call the police. Now, several days went by and I got a subpoena served to our house, and it referred to a Bruce Hesevic was suing us for something. Now, I never met a Bruce. I haven't got a clue who Bruce was. So I was shocked. I didn't know what it was all about. In doing further research, I recognized the last name, which is on the back of her flyer, Hesevic, and then Karen. So
What kind of subpoena did you get?
I got a small claim subpoena that said my wife and I, who she never met, Your Honor, were being sued for loss of income, libel, malicious behavior, slander, and so on.
May I see it, please?
Sure.
Plaintiff's employer?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you left that part out.
I beg your pardon,
sir.
ma'am. I did call the gutter people. I spoke to Mr. Steve, and I expressed my interest in this product. And I said a lady named Karen came to our house to show your product over the weekend, left us a tape. We wanted to view the tape for a longer period of time. She took it back, was very upset with me for keeping it. Can you please send me another tape? And he said, well, you're saying Karen. And I'm saying, yes, Karen. He says, well, I have no Karen working for me. He goes, there is a Bruce that works for me in that area. You sure it wasn't a man? I says, no, it was a lady named Karen. Fine, I'll send you a copy of the tape. Then a short while after that, we had a sheriff come to our house looking for us. We weren't there. We had a PTA meeting. My boys told us.
And then you got served with
Served
this.
after, yep. Okay. And then I went down to the courthouse and filed for a jury trial, figuring I'm going to get this thing out in the open.
Okay, now I got you.
Bingo.
And it would be fair to say that in your conversation with Mr. you voiced some displeasure with the salesperson.
Absolutely.
You did. You said, I don't like the way I'm
Absolutely,
being treated. I didn't like the way I was treated.
No, I'm a sales manager, Your Honor, and I think when you want to make a sale, you're nice to people.
Bruce and Karen, same person?
Yes.
Okay, so that's both you. Mm-hmm. Now, when you went to work for this gutter cover company, did you interview with this Mr.?
Yes. I actually did sales before I ever met him, and then...
For the same company?
Yeah, I was working for the previous franchiser, and he came down after that. I sold several deals before that.
When you interviewed and worked for them previously, you worked for them as Bruce.
Right.
To your knowledge, did this Mr. know that you were also Karen?
We had talked about it. I called the office and said that there would be a person as Karen out there, and that my hair was long, and that people do see me as a woman.
You intend to maintain that persona?
Yes.
My problem, Ms. Hesevic, is that you seem to ascribe some behavior to the defendants, which is actionable. Why do you believe that they do not have a right to call your employer and say, I'm dissatisfied with the kind of treatment that I got from your rep. I like the product. I'm interested in buying the product. And if your employer decides, for whatever reason, to let you go, why do you feel as if you have the right to sue the defendants?
Because when I talked to Steve on Tuesday, he told me that the severity of their complaint against me was such that he had to believe that they were telling the truth. I told him they were not telling the truth, and then I told him exactly what happened. And as she said, she told me to come out and pick up the tape. On the phone call, she did not say that. She hung up on me. And I have copies of the phone call that was made to him. He said I made several threatening phone calls.
You went out there to get the tape?
Yes.
No, I said
What
nasty grams. I didn't say phone call.
Nasty grams?
Yeah, on my cell phone.
When you went out there to get the tape, tell me what happened.
Well, I got out of my car. Their kids yelled from the top of the deck that the lady from the gutter is here. And I heard her yelling at her kids, I don't want to talk to her. Tell them to go down to the basement door and talk to the father. And so they came out and told me that. So I went around under the deck into the basement door that they have there. He opened the door part way and handed me the tape. And he said some remarks to me. And I said, well, you promised to have it back to me by 5 p.m. on Saturday. I said, you never called? He said, oh, yes, I did. But I was at home from 3 o'clock all the way till 10 o'clock at night. There wasn't one phone call. I have a message machine on my machine.
There you go. That's why you didn't answer it.
And
sorry.
No messages were even left.
Nope. That's
so?
True.
So, yeah.
So?
And, yeah, so he didn't call to say he wasn't going to meet me. He could have left a message machine on there. He knew that the
So what did you say
important.
to him?
He made some comments, and then I told him that I had to use that for sales, and that as he knew I had appointments on Monday morning, I didn't get the tape till 7 o'clock Monday night.
And?
So he says, well, you're losing more business.
You forget the golden credo,
yep.
which is the customer's always right.
Want me to deliver the damn tape? I'm sorry.
The customer's always right. Because you had a real live customer there. You had a customer who was really interested in your product.
$6 grand.
Listen.
I'm sorry.
That's a hothead. Let me ask you this question. Why didn't you call Gutter and have them give you another tape?
I had sent a memo up to him on Monday morning saying that I needed another tape.
Why didn't you go there?
Oh, they're out of Seattle, and I'm in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, so they have to send it to you.
Yeah.
Why did you wait until you were down to your last tape?
I only had one tape all the time.
That sounds like a not very good policy. What happens if
that's
that tape?
all the company gives.
Well, that's kind of stupid.
Right, yeah.
You don't have a cause of action, Ms. Hesevic. He has an absolute right to call the company and say, I don't like her attitude. I don't like the way she spoke to me. I was interested in your product. I'm still interested in your product. He's not trying to put one over on these people. He's calling and saying, listen, your lady who you sent out here was rude. She took off. She doesn't want to do business with me. I'm still interested in doing business with your company. Send me another tape and send me another rep. And if by virtue of that statement, Mr. let you go as the rep for the company in your area, so be it. It may also have been that Mr., and I don't know, he's not here, was not happy about not knowing what gender person was going out. He thought it was one gender, and it turned out to be a different gender. That's possible, too. That coupled with what they said, listen, I don't need this aggravation. But they have a right to call.
Yes.
They have a right to make a complaint. That's what the First Amendment's all about. So your claim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Basically what happened as a result of this individual not being honest.
Some people can lie and get away with it.
Honesty is the best policy. You know, she should have been honest, and she wasn't.
Dismissed. That's all.
Case number 230 on the calendar in the matter of King versus Palmer. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. King, you and the defendant lived together for a period of time. You claimed two things. First, that he damaged your home while he was in a rage. And second, that he caused some damage to your car when he put some stuff in the gas tank.
Yes.
How long were you a couple?
It was about 2 months.
before we decided to move in together.
And how long did you actually live together?
About 2.5 months.
Did you move into his house, or did he move into yours, or did you take a place together?
We actually moved into a place together.
So you moved in together, and what happened on the night in question, which was?
November 21st.
What year?
Of last year, 2001.
Okay, go ahead.
It started out with him, he went to Pool League that night.
He went what?
To Pool League. He was on a pool team. And he had come home a little later than usual. I was already in bed. And I got up and was asking him, you know, what had taken so long. Usually he came directly home.
What time did he get home?
It was probably around 12:30, 1 o'clock.
And what time had he usually come home?
Around 11.
You didn't just ask him. Let's be honest.
Oh, I was a little angry, but at the same time, we had a pretty open relationship as far as he had his life, I had my life.
Okay, so you were angry?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
And he got very defensive immediately. And he was sitting on the couch, and we were actually arguing back and forth. And he stood up really fast and grabbed the coffee table and threw it end over end, and it shattered everywhere. It was a mirror coffee table. And just completely went on a rage from there. He grabbed the leg from the coffee table, threw it through the TV. I immediately ran to the bedroom and tried to shut the door. He was right behind me. He slammed the door open so hard that the hook on the back of the door actually went into the wall. That's when it started to get physical. There was a knife about this long that was hanging on the wall next to our bedroom door, and he was threatening to pop the waterbed. And I was screaming, I can't afford that kind of damage, you know that. And he started pointing the knife at me. He stabbed it through the bedroom door. It went through the door into the wall. He threw the knife at me. It landed right next to my head, and there was actually a perfect imprint of the knife in the wall. You could see the handle, the knife itself. He turned around and got very aggressive with me and put his hands around my neck. That's when I started kind of flailing, and I punched him in the side of the head. He carried me across the room by my neck, threw me through the door, and I landed on the linen closet, which was right outside of the bedroom wall. He put his fist through the wall. I ran into the kitchen. I picked up the phone. I dialed 911. He was right on top of me, grabbed the phone from me and hung it up and started screaming at me, you're going to call the police. You're going to call the police on me. You know I have a warrant. Grabbed the phone from me, threw it on the ground. It shattered. He put his hand through the back screen wall, which is when he cut himself. Immediately started bleeding all over the place. I ran back into the bedroom trying to get away from him. He followed me in the bedroom. We went outside because my children were home. I had a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old that were hiding in their bedroom. So I went outside, locked myself in the car, assuming that the police would be on their way because I dialed 911. He was in my face in the car. I ran back inside trying to lock him out, and he took off after that. Hid in the bushes for about 3 hours. They looked for him with K9 and took pictures of my house. And I actually have the police report.
I'd like to take a look at the police report and the photos if you have them.
I was not able to get the photographs from the police department. But I also have a copy of the security and cleaning and the damage deposit from my landlord. I've moved out of the house, and they had obviously tons of damage to fix the house. Here's a breakdown of what everything cost, not including what I fixed myself.
Go ahead.
I have a slightly different version, Your Honor.
So did she when the police came that night.
I came home that Tuesday night from pool league. It was a little bit later. I'd stayed and shot pool with my friends after league ended. Before I'd even made it to the door, she came out the door screaming at me, where you been, just going off on me. I came in for about 10 minutes of that screaming. As I was getting ready for bed, I called her an explicit name. Look, you dumb. Could I just please go to bed? I got to work in the morning. That's when I got punched in the head twice. And after that is when I started to tear the house up.
That's what she forgot to tell me. That's in the police report, that she told the police that she hit you first.
That's when I started to...
Yeah, how come you forgot? You told me about all the things that happened, the coffee table and the glass and everything else. How come you left out the fact that after he called you a name, which was not a nice thing, you punched him in the forehead?
No. That's actually incorrect. I did punch him.
Behind the ear, Your Honor.
I did punch him. That was when he had his hands around my neck.
No.
When I
No.
Your Honor, when I pushed him,
That's not what you told the police.
I pushed him on the forehead. There was actually a prior incident with another girlfriend, and he had called her the same name, and she had smacked him on the forehead with a frying pan for calling him that name.
Listen to me.
I did push him in the forehead. He was sitting on the couch. I forgot to. I don't remember a lot of things from that night simply because...
Well, you remembered a lot of detail you told me before, but the one thing you didn't remember was that the first person to use any physical force was you.
Yeah, but...
The first person that put hands on was you.
It was...
And his reaction to putting hands on was to deal with furniture, not to deal with you. He threw over the furniture, he put his hand through a wall, he got angry.
He also...
Speak not. Okay. Go.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Just a minute, there's a fly in here. It's irritating me. If I had the proper equipment, I could have done it. Bird, don't be frightened.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Billy King says former live-in boyfriend Tim Palmer destroyed her apartment and then beat her up in a fit of rage. Tim says Billy started it by punching him in the forehead.
Okay, go ahead.
It escalated from there, and I did tear the house up a little bit. I've got a copy of the damages here. I highlighted the ones that I caused.
Okay, so did you pay for the ones that you caused?
No, I just replaced the TV of hers that I broke the very next day with the phone that I allegedly smashed on the ground.
Just a minute, you replaced the TV how, sir?
I took the broken one out and put one in there that worked.
Who has that TV now?
She does.
Is that right?
No.
Just a minute, there's a fly in here. It's irritating me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And then that was on November 21st. We stayed together for another month after that. I went to...
Just a minute. Don't get me off the track. This fly isn't getting me off the track. I want to know where the TV is. He said he bought a new TV. I absolutely believe him that he replaced the TV.
He actually didn't buy a TV. His best friends were our neighbors, and they had a broken TV that they were keeping in the garage. Took 20 minutes for it to warm up, and they allowed me to borrow that TV. And when I offered to give it back, they told me to throw it away.
I gave him $50 and a $100 cordless phone for that TV. It was not broken.
You watched TV afterwards on a TV, after this incident, when you stayed together and tried to patch things up. Hold on a second.
Yes. Good job.
Go ahead. If I had the proper equipment, I could have done it.
For a month after that, we were together. I went to see my father over Christmas, and she had a problem with that. Cashed one of my unemployment checks while I was gone, signed my name to it, and cashed it at her place of business. Then New Year's Eve, she took off at 11:15, got back at 4 in the morning. I left when she got home because her kids were there.
Sounds as if it wasn't a marriage made in heaven. Listen to me. How much of the damage did you cause?
$135, Your Honor.
And how much are you being billed?
Oh, excuse me?
Miss King.
$2,100 and 20.
Let me see.
I'm also liable for half of the re-rent fee and advertising.
And how much is that?
That's $275 and $21 are the two totals on that.
I'd also like to point out that we were not working it out after that.
I don't care whether you were or you weren't. I want to see what the landlord lists as damage.
They're the same thing. Mine are just highlighted what I caused.
We'll take care of it.
Huh?
We'll take care of it. You fly.
There's also rent.
I moved out in January. She moved out in July.
Was your rent up to date at that time?
Yes, it was.
No,
that late
it
charge
was not.
was.
What about the security deposit?
We split that.
I paid the $500 security deposit, which in turn takes care of the $725 that I owed in the back rent minus $200.
Why would you have paid all of the security deposit?
Because when we moved in together, he was not getting paid that much money. He pays an enormous amount of child support because he's about $20,000 behind.
Did you give her half of the security deposit?
Yes, I did. It was $250.
Who paid it? By check?
We paid cash to the landlord. It had to go on one person's name, so we just used hers.
Your Honor, the reason that we paid cash was because at the time I was working at a pawn shop, and I had a rather expensive ring. And I ended up getting rid of the ring so that we could afford the house.
Let me explain something to you. No court is going to waste their time going through this kind of minutiae with people who choose to live together and test the waters to see if the relationship is going to work. There are certain things that are reasonable. I'm not getting into the $5 here and $10 there and even $50 someplace else. Bird, don't be frightened.
Right.
Thank you. I hope that was an endangered fly.
I doubt it.
Well, there are those things out here in California. Gotta be careful.
Your Honor,
in any event, there is certain damage that he caused. There's no question that there's certain damage that he caused. Late fees were, I don't know about this. Re-rent fee is $275. Advertising fee is $21. Certainly he lost his cool Fair statement?
Fair statement, Your Honor.
Good. You lost your cool to the tune of $500. Now, what proof do you have that he actually put flour in the gas tank of your car? Which is the second part of your claim.
I have a couple of things actually to prove that. I have a receipt from the people who initially fixed my car. I had it towed on.
I have no doubt that somehow your car was vandalized. What proof do you have that the defendant did it?
The night that it happened, it was January 12th. We had separated in November, and I had a date that night with my witness. We had gone out. We came back to my house. We had been friends for quite a while, and so we came back to my house. The children were not there, and decided that he was going to stay at my house that night. You know, no big deal. Throughout the night, Mr. Palmer called a couple of times. I told him, you know, the same thing. I wasn't interested in seeing him or talking to him. He had already given me his house key. He did not have access to my house. He was not supposed to be there. He was actually waiting for me at the next door neighbor's house. He had explicit details of what we were doing in the living room because he was watching us through the window. When we decided that it was late enough and we were going to go to bed for the evening, he broke in through the front door, said, "Not in this house, not in this house," and walked right into the bedroom and left, went to his friend's house, called the police, and was going to immediately take back all the things that he said that he was going to give me because he didn't want them anymore. He was so broken up about our relationship that he didn't want his water back.
Okay, so let's get to the flour in the gas tank.
It was a locked garage. I had extra supplies in the garage. The following day, there was a bag. That's how I knew what it was. There was a bag of flour sitting in the middle of the garage. I actually had to break into the garage at a later date because he wouldn't give me the key. He's the only one that had the key to that garage. And the flour was rummaged out of the box.
You have the key to the garage. How are you going to get your car out?
I didn't leave my car in the garage. I just had belongings in my garage.
So where was the car?
Sitting right in my driveway, right next to the house.
Okay.
He knew, so? I mean, it was we'd been sitting on the couch talking and being intimate with each other for about 2 hours, and he knew things that we were talking about at the beginning of the evening.
So what you're telling me, because he was angry, because he was angry, you assumed that he vandalized your car.
It was the following morning that I got up to go to work. It lasted about 6 blocks. My car died. I had it towed, and there was...
So that's what you're telling me. You're telling me that because he was so angry, you assumed that it was him.
Yeah, it would be pretty difficult or very coincidental that it would be somebody else.
I agree with you.
Tony saw him come in.
I agree with you.
He was the one that called the police.
I agree with you. So far, you've been reasonably honest with me, Mr. Palmer. You've been reasonably honest with me about the damage that you caused. You've been reasonably honest with me about everything else, and you haven't been a loser. You haven't been a loser because I try to be reasonable. Did you put anything in the gas tank of the car?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Actually, Your Honor, I had a key to the front door because we were supposed to go out that night, and I knew something was up when she canceled with me. I came by the house about 1 o'clock in the morning. As I'm walking up to the door, the curtains are open.
What were you go?
I see them on the couch.
What'd you go there 1 o'clock in the morning for?
Because I knew she was fooling around on me, and that was my waterbed in the house. And when they were on the couch, I was all fine with it. That's how she wants to be. That's how she can be. But when they moved into my waterbed, that's my personal property, I wasn't going to have it. You need written consent to be in my waterbed, pretty much. So I let myself in the door and said, not in my waterbed, everybody else. And the police came and stood by while I drained my waterbed, and I left the same time the police did that night. They stood by for 2 hours while I drained my waterbed and took it apart and moved it next door.
But it
wasn't happening in my bed.
Doesn't that sound like a big baby to you? You took police officers who should have been out on the street taking care of important business.
They actually commended me for keeping my head.
I'm speaking.
Sorry.
Making sure that people's homes are safe, that there aren't muggers in the street, that people aren't getting raped. And you had them stand there for 2 hours while you drained your waterbed so your former girlfriend wouldn't...
They stood by to make sure it didn't turn into a bloodbath, I think.
It shouldn't have turned into a bloodbath. You should have gone home, taken a cold shower, gotten into your bed and said, listen, I got to deal with this like an adult. You went over there at 1 o'clock in the morning.
My name was on the lease. I had every right to be there.
Mr. Palmer, you're being a big baby. And the name you called her is not a nice name. And if you called your old girlfriend that name, it wasn't nice to call your old girlfriend that name. Did you get hit over the head by your old girlfriend?
That was a different name I called her. And I fully deserved that one.
Your Honor, one of the most important
things...
Just
a second. I want to see the information that you have from your mechanic.
These are... One of the receipts is missing, so I had to make a statement about some of the things that he had done for me. There were towing fees. Just
a second.
And that car has a locking gas cover.
Not anymore. The gentleman that worked on my car fixed it the first time. It was running fine. Then it broke down.
Listen to me. You can't testify for somebody else, and neither can the person who fixed this car.
Right, that's why I had to make that statement. But he had told me it had to have happened on 2 separate occasions. There was no way after he drained and cleaned the tank the first time that the car could have done what it did again unless somebody had put flour in the tank again.
Probably right, but that's not evidence that I can hear.
Okay.
From you. Okay. He owes you $500 that he's going to pay you back for damaging the apartment and also the advertising fee. He lost his temper. You hit him first.
Your Honor, I did not hit him.
I don't care whether you went like this, because I don't believe you went like this to his forehead. I want you to understand that. Just because you look like a very sweet gal, I don't believe that when he came home, you said to him, honey, you usually don't come home this late. You're an hour and a half late. Where were you?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You were screaming and you were yelling and he called you a foul name. You came back into the room and you gave him a clop in the forehead, right? And as a result of giving him a clop in the head, he got mad and he tore up the place instead of tearing your head off.
While my children were there.
Well, you chose to hit him when your children were there, madam. Don't you think that your children heard it when you were screaming at him, where have you been so late?
I was not screaming at him.
Please. Grow up. I'm not stupid.
I wasn't even able to press assault charges.
Listen to me very carefully, madam.
He ruined my couch, my TV.
I don't care. He didn't ruin your head. You hit it close. You struck him first. He reacted by damaging your property. That was bad temper. The fact that he's got a foul mouth is also not a good thing. You say, with my children there? With your children there, you started it with him. He reacted badly. He's got a bad temper, but you started it. You started the screaming. He didn't. And if you didn't like the fact that he was out until 12:30 in the morning, you should have scooped up your children and left. Do you understand? I'm not interested in the hearing.
But my older...
Goodbye! Your lawsuit's dismissed.
On the calendar in the matter of Kitchen versus Johnson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
How old are you?
21.
And you?
I'm 20.
You're too young to be living together. Do you know that?
Yes.
I read these papers, and it's sort of like you were playing in a playpen, like 2 3-year-olds. Didn't you ever learn about working and playing well with others?
Yes.
How long were you living together?
In our apartment, we were living together for almost a year, but before that, we lived together for a year and a half.
All right. Now, you tell me what date it is that you had this big fight.
It was February 23rd, 2002.
And you were living together, still living together at the time.
Yes.
And you were angry with him.
Yes, I was angry with
You
him.
were angry. Tell me why you were angry, Miss Kitchen.
I was angry with him because he came home around 7 a.m. in the morning and woke me and my brother up arguing with me.
So what did you do because you were angry? What did you do to his clothes?
After we got into an argument, I took his clothes out the closet and I told him he needs to move out.
You took his clothes out of the closet, Miss Kitchen, and what did you do with his clothes? Just be careful what you tell me. Took his clothes out of the closet, and where did you throw them?
I threw them on the floor.
Did you throw any of them outside?
Yes, I did.
Yes, of course you did. And so he got angry.
Yes.
And he said to you, pick up my clothes and put them back. Is that what you said?
Correct.
And you said?
No.
And he said, if you don't pick up my clothes, I'm going to take
your stereo and throw them over the balcony.
And you didn't pick up his?
I didn't pick up his clothes.
And you did what?
Well, I kept the radio. She went and got some bleach to pour on my clothes while they was on the balcony.
So she went into a different room to get bleach.
The kitchen.
Show me how big the jar of bleach was.
It was this big.
Big jar.
Big jar.
And you said, if you don't put down my radio, I'm going to put what on your clothes?
Bleach.
Shh, please. I love this story. It gets a lot better.
It's fun so far.
It gets a lot better. Anyway, you got the bottle of bleach out of her hand.
No, she put the bleach down. I picked it up. She ran in the room and got my glasses.
She put the bottle of bleach down, got your
Gucci glasses.
Fancy Gucci glasses.
Right.
You picked up the bleach.
Right.
What was she going to do with your glasses?
She said, I'm going to break them. I twist off the bottle of the bleach. I said, if you break those glasses, I will pour this on your side of the closet.
And what did she do?
She broke it, and I poured it on her side of the closet. But before all this, she done bit me up, scratched me, Before she grabbed my clothes.
Before?
Before. Before she even grabbed my clothes, because I was trying to stand in front of the closet, she started scratching and biting me. Her brother was trying to pull her off of me, but while he was pulling, she still had a lock on me. She was like locked like a rock wallet.
What was she so mad about, Mr. Johnson?
She was all kinds of things that she wanted. She didn't want me to have no other girls, and that she was gonna mess up my face so nobody else would want me or something like that. So she was trying to scar me up.
Okay, so now she broke your glasses.
Word.
But before that, she had already scratched you up.
Yeah.
She was furious.
Yeah, her brother was trying to hold her back and telling her to quit and calm down.
Because she was angry.
And he
she's got
wrote
a
that
bad
in the
temper.
incident report.
Even with that sweet voice, she has a bad temper.
Word.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Okay, so you've poured bleach all over her clothes.
All over it.
And she broke your glasses and scratched you.
She broke my glasses first, and then I poured it over her closet.
But before that, she had scratched
She had scratched me and bit me.
Okay. Now then, clothes are bleached, you're scratched and bleeding, your glasses are broken. Somehow you get outside.
Yeah, she's just, when I poured the bleach, she just started crying and breaking down like she had lost her best friend. I grabbed my clothes and tried to put them in my trunk. I ran downstairs.
Okay. And when you got down to the car, what did you see?
She was telling her brother that she had called the police and to talk to the police while she come and chase after me. And I was putting things in the trunk, and she got in my car, and she was scratching my car. She hit my car. She was pulling all the CDs out my car. When the police pulled up, she was in my car.
No.
And then she got arrested.
She got arrested. She asked the police.
You have a police report?
Oh, word. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, I do.
May I see it, please?
And that's her brother's statement.
Just a minute, I'm
The
reading
only
everything.
witness.
I'm reading everything.
And I have pictures of the bruises.
I'd like to see those too.
There you go. All right. And I got glasses.
Can I tell my side of the story now?
Yeah.
Okay, that is not what happened. Tristan came home at 7 in the morning and woke me up. And
I heard that already.
We started yelling and arguing. He snatched my stereo out the wall and tried to throw it over the balcony. I told him that if he threw the stereo, I was going to bleach his clothes. He dropped my stereo and ran in the room. He picked up the bleach and ran in the room and had the bleach over my clothes. I told him that if he bleached my clothes, I was going to break his glasses. He poured bleach all over my clothes, then I broke his glasses. I fell to the ground and started screaming and hollering, and I told my brother to go call the police. He grabbed my purse and picked up his clothes and ran downstairs. I ran downstairs after him, and I grabbed his cell phone. So I told him I'll give him his cell phone if he gave me my purse. I gave him his cell phone, he gave me my purse. I stood by the car, and I wouldn't let him get into the car. So
your daughter?
Yes. So we stood by the car waiting for the police. He pushed me into
You
his
owe me for
rearview
listening
mirror.
to this, right? You owe me. Go ahead.
He pushed me into his rearview mirror. That's how his rearview mirror broke. I didn't have no keys in my hand, so I did not key his car like he said I did.
You kept telling your sister to calm down, right?
Yes.
But she was out of control.
Well, she had a reason.
She was out of control.
Yes.
You didn't tell him to calm down, right?
Well, I was...
No. You didn't tell him to calm down. You were telling your sister to calm down. Is that right?
Right.
Right. Uh-huh.
Well, I
I didn't ask you anything else.
All right. Ask you a question?
No. I ask questions.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You can't bite people. That's not nice.
He kept on pushing me down on the bed. That's why I bit
You
him.
can't bite people because you were acting like a nut.
And later today,
Brother smashes rental car that sister leased for him as a favor. Brother's answer is, duh.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nicole Kitchen says ex-boyfriend Tristan Johnson bleached her clothes in anger. Tristan says it was in retaliation for breaking his Gucci sunglasses.
Let me read you what you told the police. Your name is Carthen?
Yes.
She was yelling, your sister was yelling at him to get out of the house.
Yes.
She was saying he hasn't paid all of the rent.
Right.
Oh, sorry. She told him to go to his girlfriend's house. He cheated on her, and that's why they broke up. They argued for at least 45 minutes. Then she, your sister, started throwing all of his clothes onto the balcony. He took her CD player and said, if my clothes go over, your CD player goes over. She was trying to get the CD player back from him. He was holding her back with his other arm. She bit him on the arm to get her CD player. She took the player and put it inside. He still wouldn't leave, so she grabbed bleach and threatened to pour the bleach on his clothes. He stopped her from doing it. He grabbed the bleach. My sister took his sunglasses and threatened to break them. He told her, "You better not break those or I'll bleach your clothes." She snapped his glasses in half. Then he poured bleach on her clothes. Then I called the police.
Yes.
Word for word is what you told the police, which is exactly what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I think she bit him twice on the arm and the chest, but I'm not sure. How long were you in jail?
9.5 hours.
You can't bite people. That's not nice.
He kept on pushing me down on the bed. That's why I bit
You
him.
can't bite people because you were acting like a nut. You were acting kooky. You got mad. But you weren't terribly injured, right?
No, but I got to wear these scars for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's not nice.
No, not at all.
Listen, you're each suing each other. You're suing because you say he has some of your property.
Yes.
And he poured bleach all over your clothes.
Yes.
He's counterclaiming because he says you broke his sunglasses, you assaulted him, you damaged some of his stuff, and each of you want $5,000 from the other. Do you think you behaved well that day?
No, I don't think I behaved well.
Do you think you behaved well that day?
I didn't put my hands on her.
You think you behaved
Besides the
appropriately?
bleach, no.
Well, but the bleach is a big thing.
Yes.
She threw your clothes down.
And it was just
She broke
raining
your
the next day,
glasses.
so my clothes was already a done deal.
Listen, she broke your glasses, you pick up your stuff, you leave the house until she cools off, and you haven't done anything to retaliate, because by retaliating, then you felt better, right? You thought you'd feel better.
No,
She
because
broke your glasses, so you were going to make yourself feel better by bleaching her clothes, right?
Right.
Well, that's what you did. So what do you want from me? You each got what you deserved. What do you want from me?
She went to my job and told them that I beat her up back in,
No.
that I choked her in the staff lounge back in January.
You have somebody from your job to testify to that?
I got the reason why I was terminated that
You
says
have
that.
somebody from your job to testify as to what she told them.
I just got the letter.
I don't read letters. Let's talk about the property.
Okay.
You each damaged the other's property. If you
Yeah.
think I'm going to value what you each damaged, you're absolutely nuts. You acted like 2 3-year-olds in a playground. So if I would do anything, I would award you 0, you 0, you 5,000, you 5,000. That would each give you 0. Choose whatever you like. Neither one of you were entitled to any money, and neither one of you were entitled to waste 1 minute more of my time. Goodbye.
Wait.
I just excuse you may step out.
She didn't try to jump on me while we was on the road.
He's the one who came home and attacked me and got mad at me.
She didn't try to attack me at my job.
I had a new boyfriend, and my new boyfriend came to my apartment. That's why he got mad.
For all those people that thought I put my hands on her, I didn't.
A big fat man like him lied.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Clark versus Bruni. Step forward, please.
21-year-old student Elizabeth Clark is suing 21-year-old student Callie Bruni for the unpaid balance on a trip to Cancun.
I gather that you and a friend decided to take a trip to Mexico, a vacation to Mexico. Is that right?
Yes.
And you prepaid the trip, and shortly before you were supposed to leave, you got sick.
Yes.
Mono?
Yes.
Somehow there was an arrangement made with the defendant to take your place on the trip. You claim she paid you some money for the trip, but still owes you a substantial amount.
That's correct.
So when were you scheduled to leave on the trip?
March 8th.
When did you get sick?
February 14th. I was hospitalized March 1st through the 6th.
And at what point did it become non-refundable?
I'm not exactly sure.
Well, it becomes non-refundable. Certainly you would agree that by February 14th, when you got sick, it was non-refundable.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
So you stood to lose all of your money, right?
Yes.
Now tell me what the arrangements were with the defendant.
The arrangements were when I was in the hospital between my witness Shannon and Callie that she was going to pay me money before I left.
Just a minute. So you never had a discussion with the defendant?
No, I did not.
You witnessed it?
Yes, she did.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Shannon Powers.
You were supposed to go on the trip
With
Miss
Beth.
Clark.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do? You contacted the defendant?
Yes, I did.
Okay. She was a friend of yours?
Yeah.
Was she a friend of yours?
No.
Go ahead.
I kind of struggled around to find someone to go because we both stood to lose a lot of money. And the agreement...
Right, because it was non-refundable.
Yep.
Right.
The agreement between Callie and myself was she would give or send Beth a check or money for $400 and then pay her the remainder of the $574 in the summer when she started working.
Was that your agreement?
No.
Let me hear what your agreement was.
The agreement was $700. My parents gave $400, and I thought the agreement was that Shannon's parents gave $100 for me, and then that I was paying Beth $200 in the summer. I would never agree to pay that $978 when she was going to lose all her money.
How much did you receive altogether so far for this trip?
$400.
$400. And where did the other $100 come from?
From my parents, but I guess they never sent it. I was not aware of that.
Why were your parents going to send Miss Clark another $100?
Because Callie agreed to give me $500, and then she didn't have a license, and she had to get back from New York to Connecticut because she didn't have a passport, and she had to spend the money, the $100, to get back to Connecticut to get her IDs and stuff.
Okay, so you were going to give her parents back the $100?
No. My parents would only give me $400, and Beth's mom would not take the $400. She said $500.
Are you telling me that you actually gave her $500 or $400?
$400, but...
All right, so you still owe her $3. Miss Clark, you never had a conversation with nor a contract with the defendant. Is that right?
Before she left, I did not have contact with her.
Right, so you had no contract with her, right?
Right.
You had no agreement with her whatsoever.
It was between them. But I had a friend who was willing to go instead of Callie before she...
I don't know that. Where's your friend who was willing to go?
I have a document.
I don't read documents. I don't read documents. I mean, you're in the hospital. You stand to lose $974. You took out no insurance to prevent you from losing all this money. I mean, I don't see anybody spending the full amount of the trip. If she knows you're going to lose all of your money, that's not the way people usually operate. They usually operate, well, I'll go on short notice, but I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a trip. She didn't have $1,000. She only had $400. Aside from the fact you didn't have a contract with her.
But that was the agreement that I understood, that she was to pay me money when she got back from the trip.
Yeah.
She paid me $400 and I expected the rest. I worked 2 jobs over my winter break trying to pay for this trip. And I wouldn't have let somebody go on my trip for $700 that I worked 2 jobs for and then I paid for in full.
Next time you take a trip, you should have some insurance.
I never thought that I was going to get sick.
Absolutely. That's why people take out insurance. In any event, you had no contract with the defendant. As far as she was concerned, well, she got a little mixed up with the $100. I guess she figured your mother was going to give her $100 so that you wouldn't lose all your money and therefore you wouldn't go away on this trip alone.
Yeah.
You still owe her $300. Why haven't you paid her?
I was going to pay her the $200 because I never knew that
her mother didn't give the $100.
Yes.
All right.
So I was going to pay her the $200, and then I get in the mail that she's trying to get $530 from me.
So you gave her nothing?
Right.
Well, why didn't you give her at least what you thought you owed her?
Because I knew I had to go to court anyways.
Okay. Well, you owe her $300. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Better.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Reckenmacher versus Smith. Step forward, please.
40-year-old professional clown Paul Reckenmacher says he was requested to perform as Captain Knucklehead by 47-year-old event planner Sherry Smith. Paul says at the last second, she hired some other clown.
How should I phrase this? Mr. Reckenmacher, you are a clown by profession. And Ms. Smith, you're a party planner.
Yes, I am.
It is your claim, Mr. Reckenmacher, that the defendant breached a contract with you for services that you were to perform for her. You want to be compensated to the tune of $5,000 for that breach of contract. May I see the contract? Are these the original contracts, sir?
Yes, they are.
They're not signed.
That's true.
Thank you.
Then if they're not signed, that's not a contract.
Thank you.
But we have an agreement.
Just a second.
Let's go.
All this is statements from you, and this says date of event, the first one, June 10th of '01, that the client was Lexus.
Yeah.
Supposed to take place at Clark Park. Captain Knucklehead, I assume that's you.
That's me.
Will perform 5 hours, including a half-hour field games and warm-up, etc. Price is $1,200. Unsigned. Then I have one. Captain Knucklehead will perform 5 hours, again including the same thing, fee $1,200. I have one for June 23rd, 2001, and again on August 12th, and this is what you're suing for.
Yes.
Did you, in fact, perform for the defendant on June 10th?
No, I did not.
Okay. Did you, in fact, perform for the defendant on June 23rd?
No, I did not.
Did you, in fact, perform for the defendant on July 27th?
No, I did not.
So, explain to me the lawsuit.
Okay, we've had a relationship for a long time, and it's basically this. We had an agreement months before that was hammered out by one of my witnesses, that was the sales manager at the time, Melody Calvert, and the agreement was as such that I would have exclusive booking rights in exchange for a lower price and the ability to substitute other entertainers if I couldn't do that. And that's what happened is she asked me a week before, and she knew very well, we all agreed on this, and she said, are you going to be performing at this event? And I said, no, I'm going to be substituting, as we agreed in our meeting earlier on. And she knew about this many, many months before in my profession.
Just a second. Just 1 second, sir. Let me go back. Am I to understand that your lawsuit now is that you did not perform at these functions, but that you hired someone else to perform at these functions, and therefore you fulfilled your obligation under this unsigned agreement?
That would have been the situation under the first two. But she said since I wasn't doing the first two, that she wouldn't do any of the other contracts or have me do them.
Stop right there. I'm going to make this very simple. On the 10th of June, 2001, it says Captain Knucklehead will perform 5 hours. You are Captain Knucklehead. You did not perform for 5 hours. Who did you send?
I would have sent another...
No, not would have sent.
I didn't send anyone.
So nobody went June 10th?
No.
Services not provided? June 23rd, you did not perform. Did you send someone else?
I did not.
July 27th, you did not perform. Did you send someone else?
No, I did not. And let me save you some time. I didn't do the last one either.
Then you don't have a cause of action, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you do not have a formal written contract signed by both parties with an understanding, then what you are suing for is what we call, in legal terms, you want to be paid under a theory of quantum meruit, which is that you get paid because you performed a service, she accepted the service, and you have the right to be paid pursuant to that service. So, if you performed and she didn't pay you, you get paid. If, for instance, on June 10th, you sent someone else that she accepted who performed in your place, then you get paid. If you do not have a written contract and you didn't perform any service, you get
So, verbal contracts mean nothing.
You get nothing, zero, zip,
Even if
nada, zilch, you get nothing. If you showed up, or if somebody showed up, you would have gotten paid. You didn't show up, you didn't send anybody, you don't get paid. Goodbye and good luck. It's been nice seeing you. Have a good life.
I didn't get to say anything.
Parties are excused. This way, Captain Knucklehead. Now, this is case number 2. Now, this is case number 256 on the calendar in the matter of Lemke versus Mungo. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Ms. Lemke, the defendant was a former boyfriend of yours. According to your complaint, he owes you for 3 things. He owes you for money that you loaned to him at one point when he was facing incarceration. He owes you for the value of a car, which you say you purchased, although it was in his name, it was supposed to be your car, and that he owes you for damages as a result of an assault that took place over a year ago. Is that right?
That's correct.
I assume that the loan that kept him out of jail was the first money that you're suing for. Is that right?
Yes.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding that loan.
John was, faced going to jail for child support arrearages. And the day that he was to appear in court, we took the bus up together. And then I overheard his, discussion with the DA and that he needed $750 to take him, him out of jail. And we agreed that I would, loan him the money and that he would repay me when he was able to.
Well, how did that come about? What did you say to him and what did he say to you?
Well, what I said to him was that I had $750. Just don't worry about it. You can repay me, when you're able to. I have $400 cash in my wallet, and we can go down to an ATM.
Tell me about, sir, your version of the $750, which you acknowledge that the plaintiff paid in order to keep you out of jail.
The $750, Lynn had offered to give me $700.
Tell me how it came about.
Oh, I was trying to do that.
No,
before we went to court, several days before she...
Look at me.
Yes, ma'am. She volunteered, said, I could give you some money to stay out. And I said, absolutely not. I don't want to do it because I would feel obligated. So a few days went by, and I was supposed to turn myself in. So we went, and then when we got into out in the hallway, the public defender said, well, do you have the money? I said, no, I don't. And he says, I have it. And he said, well, are you going to use it? I said, absolutely not. I don't want to, because I feel like I'm obligated. I cannot pay her back. And then she said, he said, well, do it. I said, no. So he left. And then he came back again and said, why don't you do it? And I said, well, and we thought about it. And I said, he convinced me to do it. I paid it, and then we went home, and that was it.
So it's not your fault, and it's not her fault. It's the public defender's fault.
No, she offered this money to me in front of Mr. Coleman here.
Just a second, but you said
yes.
that you declined to take it.
Yes, I did.
Because you would have felt obligated to repay it.
Yes.
And then you said that the district attorney or the public defender forced you to do it.
He did not force me. He coerced me into it.
He coaxed you to do it. And you did it.
Yes.
And I assume, therefore, that your initial reason for not wanting to take the money in the first place still held true, that you would have felt obligated to repay it. That's what you just told me.
That's correct.
So you took the money, and I assume you still felt obligated to repay it.
I did?
Well, then I'm asking you that. What happened, sir, between the time you walked into the courthouse, when you would have felt obligated to repay the money if the plaintiff gave you the money, and the time you actually took the money?
She told me it was a gift, and I would not have to pay her.
That is...
Absolutely.
No.
Well, Mr. Coleman
she
here heard her say it in his house.
Just a second, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
She never used the words gift. This is a gift that I'm making to you,
yes,
John.
she did.
No. She never did.
Well, that's not what she's telling you.
That's not what I believe.
Oh.
I would believe it if you told me, because I don't know if I'd believe anything you told me. I certainly wouldn't believe it if he told to me. I'm telling you, she didn't give you the money. She may have said to you, I want you to take it, and you can pay me back when you can.
Yes.
That she might have said. All right, let's move on to number two. Let's move on to car. How much did you purchase this car for?
$625.
$625. So it wasn't a Jaguar.
No.
And it wasn't a brand new car.
Absolutely not.
And you had no driver's license.
That's correct.
So you purchased the car and you put the car in his name.
Not at the time of purchase, but yes, eventually.
When did you purchase the car?
June 29th.
What were you going to do with a car that you couldn't drive?
Well, I had wanted a car for a long time, as
just to look at it?
Friends had known. Of course not.
Well, what were you going to do with it?
Have other people drive it for me so that I could get around until I have a driver's license.
So you must have discussed with him driving you around.
No, not necessarily Mr. Mungo. My roommate, John Coleman.
Oh.
And no decision had been made whether it even be either one of these people.
Whatever. You put the car ultimately in his name. Tell me when.
It was in July.
So you went down to Motor Vehicles and put the car, after you had it for some time, in the defendant's name.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Mungo, according to you, there came a time when plaintiff came to reside with you in your home. Is that right?
Yes.
When was that?
Let me see here. I have the date right here. It's on the bill of sale that we used, a copy of the bill of sale that we used for the transfer of the automobile, which was dated 7/18/2000.
That's when she came to live with you?
Yes, came to stay with me.
How long did she stay with you?
2 months and 5 days.
And according to you, Mr. Mungo, your arrangement was that she could live with you rent-free and give you the car.
Correct.
Miss Lemke, did you pay any rent? Miss Lemke, pay attention.
No, I did not, and I do not remember that document at all.
Should look at me. Could you look at me?
Oh, I beg your pardon.
And was it about the time you went to live with him because you had problems with your old roommate? That's why you moved out.
Well, he locked me out of the house.
Your old roommate locked you out of the house?
Yes.
And you went to live with Mr. Mungo. And at the same time that you went to live with Mr. Mungo, was that the time you went down to Motor Vehicles and transferred the title to the car to his name? That's what he says.
No, when I went to live with Mr. Mungo, I was only going there for some place to sleep the night I was locked out.
But you stayed for 2 months.
That's correct, and I contracted bronchitis, had severe pneumonia in
all the time
August.
You were in Mr. Mungo's house?
I was, yes I was.
And you did not pay any rent?
While I was taking care of him.
Shh. You did not pay any rent?
No, but I bought food and whatever, yeah.
You did
no,
not pay
I
any...
paid no rent, no.
Oh, okay. And he took care of you when you were sick?
No.
Who took care of you?
I took care of myself.
Okay. Let's get to item number 3. Tell me about this alleged assault. When did it take place?
September 11th.
What happened on September 11th?
I mentioned something about the car, which the subject I would avoid. because of his fiery temper whenever the subject came up. There'd been a lot of verbal abuse.
So you started to talk about the car. He didn't want to talk about the car.
He ran from the back of his house in a fiery rage and punched me as a boxer's punch right here.
Also claims John charged her in a fiery rage and punched her.
Do you have a police report?
The police said that a police report could not be issued.
Police issue a police report when there's an assault. Do you have any photographs of your injuries as a result of the assault?
Yes, I do.
Can I see them, please?
That was a couple weeks later. This is about 5 weeks later. 6, maybe.
Okay, let me hear your version of what happened on this date on September 11th.
Well, Miss Lemke is an alcoholic, and she was drinking 24/7 every day for 2 months. Her idea of being sick
For the 2 months that she was living with you?
Yes. For her idea of being sick with bronchitis is drinking a 1.7 liter of Jack Daniels and barfing all over the place. I had my son at my house. He was, I believe, 3 years old, and she was told when he's around and you're drinking, please do not talk to him and leave him alone. We were in the bathroom, and she came in and she grabbed me by the arms. She was shaking me and screaming at me, and I could see the fillings in her teeth. And I broke loose from her, and I went outside. And before I went outside, my little boy was hitting her on the leg like this, saying, stop. He could see that there was this anger, and it was getting him upset. So we went outside, and my little boy kept trying to protect me. And then she went to grab him, and as she grabbed him, he kind of turned upside down, and she spiraled down into the brick fence, and he kind of kicked her in the face. And
oh my God, that's an outright lie.
Basically, I just was horrified. I said, "Oh, you've got to go." I didn't want her to be there anymore, and she kept wondering.
I don't know why she was there in the first place, sir.
She was there because she was so combative with John. He couldn't have her living at his house anymore. He locked her out.
So she had other places to go. She could rent a room someplace. Go to Hawaii.
She could.
So why was she living with you, sir? You tell me she's an alcoholic. You had
I wanted my car back.
I think she was crazy mad in love with me, to tell you the truth.
Well,
we were having a torrid love affair.
You were having a torrid love affair
at times
with somebody who you say was a complete alcoholic? When you have a torrid love affair with someone who is blind on Jack Daniels for 2 straight months.
How?
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Not for you, maybe. Not for you, maybe. Okay. What happened as a result of this assault? Were you ever contacted by the police?
Police, well, when after this happened, I picked, my son was supposed to go home to his mother. I spent the night over there. I didn't want to come back home. And apparently the police came out, and the policeman said, I think, ma'am, you must have fallen off the porch and hurt yourself.
Don't tell me what the police said to her.
Well, he was there to hear it.
This is unbelievable.
Okay. Hearsay?
Hearsay.
Oh,
this is.
Okay. Oh, yes.
You're despicable.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Quite frankly, Miss Lemke, if someone had assaulted me, causing this kind of injury,
yes,
then there would have been a police report. There would have been a police prosecution for domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks later, I went to jail for domestic violence, Your Honor.
And I cannot understand, madam, why you would not follow up on this case that happened over a year ago. Why?
I've been sick for months.
Okay, you're going to get your $750 bail money back. You are not going to get your car back because I do believe Mr. Mungo, and believe me, it was a real stretch because it's hard to believe him about a lot of things. I do believe that he agreed to have you live there rent-free in exchange for this $625 car that you had put in his name anyway. As far as your request for damages with regard to the assault, I am not quite sure how this happened. And it is quite possible that you were, in fact, intoxicated at the time, and you're not sure how it happened either. So this is the judgment of the court. You keep the car, and you give her $750 for the bail money. You got me? Good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Lady Smirnoff?
Well, he bought alcohol for me.
I think she's still in love with me, and she just wants to have some type of contact.
In fact, he had stated he liked me better drunk than sober because he wanted anything from me.
Now, this is case number 345 on the calendar in the matter of Butler versus Yandell. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Mr. Butler, you and your family and the defendant and her family used to be neighbors.
Yes, ma'am.
While you were neighbors, it is your claim that the defendant harassed and defamed both your family and your son.
And assault.
And assault. And you want to be compensated. The defendant says that after a series of drive-by shootings, she contacted the police. And after she contacted the police, you harassed her, assaulted her, and caused some damage to her property. How long had you been neighbors?
Well, approximately 4 years. I've been living in my residence for 4 years now.
How long were you living in the
I
neighborhood?
moved in there January of 1999, and he moved in there probably a year following.
A year after? You were there first?
Yes, ma'am.
So you weren't there for 4 years?
Approximately 4 years, July of 99.
July of 99 is now 4 years. She was there first?
Yes.
Okay. How many people in your family?
Family of 5.
You?
My wife and 3 kids.
How old are your children?
Son is 15. Another daughter is 13. Greenwich is 12.
Okay. Before this incident, had you had any difficulty with each other?
No.
Gotten along okay?
Well, we just never was around each other to get along or not get along. I just, I knew the type of person, people they were, so I just kind of stayed my distance.
I'd like to speak on that. Basically, I would walk up and down the street to get my daughter from the bus stop from school, and he would always be outside with a bunch of people. This was a daily thing. He used to say hi to me. I used to say hi to him, too. As for him saying the type of person I was...
I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
You said hi, so there were no problems.
No.
No problems, ma'am.
What happened in September of 2001? Because I assume that that's what precipitated this problem.
On September 20th, at about 2 o'clock...
in the afternoon?
Yes. Ralph came to my door, knocking at the door, says, I want to talk to Rod, which is my fiancé. And then I said, okay, and then I went and got him. He came to the door. He goes, I want to talk to you, not your wife. He was like really, really like, I could tell something was wrong. And so he stepped to the door, and then he went outside and he closed the door behind him. So I was inside, and I was listening from the inside, and I could hear him yelling and getting really loud and rude with Rod, saying that your wife turned my stepson into the police, saying he's selling drugs out of my house. And then when he said that, then I opened the door and I told him, you know, Ralph, you need to get your story straight before you come down here threatening me. I said, none of that is true.
There had been a problem in the neighborhood with some shootings?
Yes. What happened with that was right across the street from his house, there was a lot of drug members hanging out selling drugs, and there was a lot of drive-bys that started occurring, and this was about 8 months ago.
Well, that had nothing to do with him. This was across the street from his house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what happened was right, like side to side, on the same sidewalk area, my son was at the park in the sandbox. The first drive-by was about like 12 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. And my son was out there when this happened. And my daughter comes running inside the house telling me, Mommy, they're shooting out there. And then I came out there, and then my son was laying down in the sand because he was scared, you know. He didn't want to get shot. And so then after that, there was about 3 or 4 more shootings within like a 2 weeks time period. There was 3 within 3 days. So every time that the police would come to check out the area, all these guys would run into the back of the carports, which lead into the back doors of the townhouses across the street from his house. So what I did was, my fiancé and I, we walked down to speak to the officers. And we asked them if we could speak to them privately so we could kind of give them a feel out of who these people were to try and get this stuff resolved. So what happened from there was, when he came to my door that day on September 20th, he says, I'm not a punk B. You're not going to get away with this, you snitch. And he goes, the only reason you're saying anything to me right now is because Rod, which is my fiance, and my best friend Jeff, we were all there together. And he goes, that's why you're only saying anything. He goes, but you wait until you go walking down the street to get your daughter, you're going to get yours. And then he goes, snitches don't live long. And he takes off down the street really mad. Then he comes back about 5 minutes later with another guy that is a known drug dealer over there. He comes back up and he goes, you mother effers, snitches get stitches and they don't live long. And then the police showed up. And then they took my police report, which I have right here, and I stated everything that he said to me when he came to my door, that he threatened me.
I'd like to see the police bird. What made you believe, sir, that the defendant had accused your son of doing anything?
Yeah, because, Judge, she was stopping the little kids in the neighborhood, asking the kids what was going on down under the tree down in there. She was spreading rumors to the little kids, harassing the kids, saying that me and my son was selling drugs.
Ma'am, that's not true.
No, no, no. I don't think that that's true, sir.
Well, that's true.
No, I don't think that that's true. She may have been inquiring about what was going
and
on
she's
there.
up here babbling about drive-bys and whatever. I wasn't in none of those cars. I'm no drug dealer. I haven't shot at nobody.
She
I haven't
never
ran in nobody's
accused
house.
you, from what she says, and I believe her. She never accused you of doing anything. She said that the drugs were being sold from a location across the street from your house.
Well, Judge, it says right there in her claim, it says that I'm a violent drug dealer and I threatened her life. That wasn't
If
said.
you'd like me to speak on that, I would love to.
Sure.
Okay, the fact of him selling drugs, I have a lady friend that walks through the neighborhood going down the street to the local store.
Did she buy some drugs from me?
Excuse me.
Did she buy drugs from me?
Mr. Butler, Mr. Butler, don't speak yet. You'll get a chance.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyways, the lady's husband would always come by, and he was like a real skinny drug addict. He would walk by to his house, come in, be there for like maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then split, be gone. And this man was continually going there, getting whatever he had to do.
And on a separate occasion, assaulted him with pepper spray. Karina denies making false accusations and claims the pepper spray was in self-defense.
Let's go back a moment. So he's outside talking to your fiancé, Rob. You hear him make these comments about snitches get stitches.
Yes.
You call the police and make a report. What happened after the police report?
The next day, my friend, which is my witness, Vicky Burciaga, she came over, and we were going to go walking down the street around the corner.
By my house.
Yes, by his house. I walked on the other side of the street, but before I did that, I told her the situation, and I told her that he threatened, really violent threats. So what I did was I had her carry some pepper spray, and I carried pepper spray. And I'm not going to lie about it. I had her carry a bat, which was out of sight, in case he approached me, which, in good thing, I did that. So we went to lunch. We went around the corner, had some Chinese food. He wasn't outside when I walked by the first time, on the other side of the street. So then when I come back by, he's sitting outside on his ice chest.
Now, when you walked back from lunch, were you walking back from lunch on the other side of the street?
Other side of the street, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No, that's a lie.
Mom,
That's a lie.
Just a minute. We're going to come back in a second. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyways, I was on the other side of the street, and before I even got anywhere in front of his house, he seen me coming, and he started going off, just cussing and calling me all kinds of names. You better not come near me, I'll kill you, and just really like trying to be verbal. There was that teenage boy standing next to him. He says to the kid, "Go get Pam," which is about 2 or 3 houses from his house. Well, Pam steps outside, and she says, "Why are you threatening us with mace and a bat and asking all the little kids around here who's selling drugs?" And I said, "You know what, Pam?" I said, "Pam, that isn't true." And I said, what happened was Ralph came down and threatened to kill me yesterday. And right at that time, Ralph picked up this wooden table I have a picture of, and he picked it up above his head like this, and he called me a white Ku Klux Klan, Nazi FMB. And he went like this to throw it at me. And right when he did that, I maced him as much as I could. And I turned around and started running.
So you maced him?
So I maced him, and when he threw that table, the table hit me lightly right here as I was turning to run. And then I started running, and I looked back, and he was coming, and he picks up this metal chair right here. He picks up this metal chair to throw at me, and I remember screaming, "No, Ralph!" And I kept running, and I fell down. And then I got back up, and I also had my dog on a leash with me.
That's how
and
she got your scars, Your Honor.
Just a minute. You took your dog in to eat Chinese food?
No, he stayed outside. There's a tree like in the parking lot, and I had him on his leash, and he was tied to the
You
tree.
left the dog tied on a tree while you went in and had lunch?
Yeah. Well, if you've seen the area, you'd
She
understand.
premeditated. It's premeditated, Your Honor. She had, in fact, wanted to come down there and pepper spray me at that time.
Mr. Butler, I'm going to come back to you. I guarantee you.
Your
She's
Honor.
just
I'm just
lying,
asking
lying,
some
lying,
questions.
lying.
Mr. Butler.
Yes. I'll be good. I'm cool.
Your Honor, to tell you the truth, this neighborhood is known as the ghetto. To tell you the
I don't
truth.
care what it's known as.
So
I
that's
just wanna
why
know
I
why
took
you
my
left your
dog
dog
to
tied to a tree while you went inside and had lunch.
Because he goes everywhere with me. It was, and plus the fact that in case anything happened
All right,
to me,
so
some
walked
sort of
down the
security.
street, you had your dog in your arms, he picked up something, he yelled, "Ralph, don't do that,"
Yeah.
whatever.
And then
what
I made it to my house and I called 911 and the police arrived about 30 minutes later.
So that's the assault you're talking about in your counterclaim?
Yeah.
Now, the assault you're talking about in your claim, just pay attention, you're not listening, Mr. Butler. The assault you're talking about is being maced.
Yes.
Do either of you have any medical bills as a result of these 2 assaults?
No. It was just washing my eyes out at the hospital, going through all the drama, just basically trying to hold my head up after letting this lady do something like that to me. You know?
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you to tell me, Mr. Butler, she's coming down the street with her friend.
Yes.
And when you first saw her, on which side of the street was she? Your side of the street or
Yeah,
the
she
other
walked
side?
right by my house, just like it was a thing to do.
In front of your house?
In front of my house, it wasn't even 5 feet. It was just right there.
Okay, and you're sitting outside?
Yes. Well, at that point, Karina
She's walking by.
Walked by. She went to the store. She must have stayed at the store about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. She came back by, And at that time, I was sitting on the porch. She crossed the street and walked right in front of me. And I can't say what she told me, but she gave me a unpleasant gesture and told me I was lying. That's what she called me. That's her favorite word when she get mad.
That's not true.
So she walks over next door and knocked on the door. So she's trying to clarify and make them think that, oh, I'm lying about her calling all us. But as soon as, that's what she said.
Right now, you're on your porch.
Yeah.
And she's not on your porch.
She's not on my porch.
When did you come off your porch?
When she started pointing at me, cussing me out, I came off my porch and walked over across it.
Where did you walk across to?
Right next door to my house. And
so you walked up to her?
No, I didn't walk up to her. The lady, my neighbor, was standing right here. She maybe be standing on this side over here. I was talking to Pam, and they arguing back and forth. And next thing I know, this lady said, "You know what?" And shh, and started spraying me. And yes, I did pick up a table, quite big table. And my intention was to bust her in the head with it. But I couldn't see. I was blinded by the pepper spray. I could not see. If I could have seen, I would have continued that. You know, that's self-defense in my book. When you leave your house with a baseball bat, a dog, and some pepper spray, that's premeditated. I didn't do anything to this lady to make her want to do that.
Considering that the day before you had had somewhat of a confrontation with the plaintiff, why did you choose to arm yourself with a bat and 2 things of pepper spray and walk right by his house, not once, but twice?
Premeditated.
Hey! Do I look like I need your help?
No.
Explain that to me.
Okay, ma'am. The simple fact why I did was because my daughter, she always comes right at the end of our street right here to the bus stop. The fact
you weren't going to pick up your daughter, you were going to eat Chinese food.
I know that. But if I wasn't going to eat the Chinese food, I would have been walking down there to pick up my daughter from the bus stop anyways.
Listen, one thing is necessary to go and pick up your child, and one thing is choice.
Yeah, I made the choice. Maybe I made the wrong choice, but...
You sure did. And you anticipated trouble. First of all, Mr. Butler, you were wrong to go down to her house and have this confrontation with either her or her fiancé or her husband or whoever it was, because I don't think you had all your facts straight. Yeah. Now, from what I gather, she was trying to find out so that she could tell the police who was selling drugs on her block so that she would be safe from these shootings that were happening. Because that's why...
I would like to be safe, too.
Just a minute. And my sense is she was asking around children in the neighborhood, what do you know about drugs being sold and from where? You told me that. She was asking, which, you know, is kind of gutsy. Most people, when they're faced with that kind of situation, they don't ask any questions. They say, I better stay in my house and keep my doors locked. But you got annoyed that she was poking her nose around, which was the wrong thing to do on your part. She wasn't doing
But I didn't break any laws. She did when she pepper sprayed me.
Just a second. That's not true, sir. If you went up to her house and said, snitches get stitches, that is breaking the law.
That's not what I said, Your Honor.
I would like you to tell me, Mr. Butler, and think very carefully, sir. What did you say to her fiancé when you came to the house that afternoon in September?
I was attempting to talk to him like man to man.
No, don't attempt it. What did you say to him?
I asked him why is his wife going around spreading rumors like that about what we're doing down there in my house. She just said that we were selling drugs. I asked him why she's going around spreading those rumors.
Who had told you that she said you were selling drugs out of your house?
The kids in the neighborhood. She was stopping them, asking them where I was selling drugs down at my residence.
So she was asking them. She wasn't telling them. Okay, so you asked them, and then what happened?
And me and him didn't get a chance to finish the conversation because it took both her husband and her friend or whatever to hold her. She was going to attack me, calling me. She said she's tired of living around all you drug dealing, and she wished we all just move. I said, well, if you have a problem with black folks, why are you still living in the neighborhood? You know, I said, somebody holding you? And I left. I turned around and walked off. I was this, that, and he couldn't do nothing with her. He trying to hold her to keep her in the house. She was physically trying to attack me.
That's not true.
You know?
Okay, let me stop. I think that you made a mistake, Mr. Butler, when you went down to the house and tried to confront people without getting all the facts. If you believe that the defendant is a hothead, I certainly would have made other arrangements to speak to the fiancé. But
that's what
I think that she certainly has the right, living on that block, to go around and ask a lot of questions to find out who's selling drugs in that neighborhood, which is causing an element to come onto that block, which is endangering everybody, including children. That's not accusing you. That's asking a question. If you don't like the question, that's too bad. But she has absolutely no right to arm herself and her friend with mace and a baseball bat. And the day after this confrontation, go walk down your block. Well, she said she was carrying a dog. Couldn't have been a huge dog.
Are you big enough to bite?
How big a dog?
A dog, he had 50-some teeth in his mouth, and he big enough to bite, you know?
How big a dog?
A dog. It's not, you know, it's not no poodle. He was a dog.
Not a poodle?
No.
Okay. I find that you put yourself in harm's way by being stupid enough right after this altercation to walk by, arm yourself, looking for trouble, go out to eat, come back in the same direction, pass by his house, cross over to his side of the street. I mean, you're just looking for trouble. And you found it. You looked for trouble and you found it. You started.
Might add one thing?
No, does it sound like you're losing?
Well, no, I just want to say one word.
No.
Huh?
I talk.
Okay.
Do you allow your wife to talk?
Yeah, I don't control my wife. She does what she pretty much wants.
Yeah, oh yeah?
Yeah.
Good. You had no right
I know.
to spray him in the face. He has to be compensated for that civilly if that's what he wants. Now,
That's
some
what
of
I
that
want.
has to be mitigated because, Mr. Butler, I believe that you got a little hot under the collar.
Yeah, but can I explain one thing to you?
I don't want you to explain anything to me. I want you to listen.
Yeah.
You got hot under the collar.
Very hot.
Right.
Yes.
Before you got sprayed with the mace.
No.
Sure you did. You were hot when you came down there to talk to her friend.
But I didn't go to her residence. She came to mine.
No. She didn't, Mr. Butler. You were sitting on your porch when she walked by. You went over towards Pam's house, where she was, and the two of you started talking. Now, your wife is sitting there, and she looks like a very nice lady, and she's nodding her head up and down. You got hot. That doesn't excuse getting maced in the face. Doesn't excuse that at all. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. Your counterclaims dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ward versus Gilsdorf. Step forward, please.
16-year-old Jana Ward and her mother, Beverly Ward, are suing Beverly's former schoolmate, 16-year-old Justin Cook, and his mother, Sabrina Gilsdorf. Jana claims Justin shocked her with a barbecue lighter, causing her to pass out.
Are you Mrs. Gilsdorf?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mrs. Ward, this is your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And your daughter and the defendant's son go to school together.
Yes, ma'am.
According to this complaint, you were involved in an incident where you made some sort of a shocking tool.
Yes, ma'am.
Explain to me how you made this shocking tool.
It's a lighter that you light your fireplaces with, the long ones. And if you take this part off, it's got this little piece inside. If you pull it out, you can click it, and it gives you like a little prick, an electronic prick.
It gives you a shock.
Yeah, a little shock.
Like an electrical shock.
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
And on the 25th of April of 2001, you and Jana were in school. According to this complaint, you and some kids were fooling around with one of those little tools, and you shocked the plaintiff.
Yes, ma'am.
And as a result of that, she became quite ill. She got dizzy, she passed out, she went to the nurse's office, they called an ambulance, they took her to the emergency room. And the plaintiffs want you and your mother to pay for their medical bills and their court fees. And your defense is that the incident did in fact happen, that your son did in fact shock her with this tool that he made, but that she has a history of seizures and passing out in school. Therefore, your son should not be responsible for this pre-existing condition. Is that your defense?
Yes, ma'am.
Wrong! What kind of responsibility are you teaching your son?
Oh, he's not the only one that shocked her, and
He just acknowledged to me that he was the one who shocked her.
not the only one.
I don't care if there were 10 of them.
Well, the other boy should have been brought forth also.
I tell you what I'm going to do for you. If you can prove that there were other boys that were involved, you should sue them. You shouldn't have to sue everybody. You don't have to sue him. And then you have a right, if you want to go into court and stand on that side of the table and say, my son and I were forced to pay the entire medical bills, and you also are partially responsible, so you should indemnify us for what we had to pay, each of you paying your share.
I don't see how that gave her a seizure.
I don't know how it did either. All your son knows is that before he shocked her, she didn't have a seizure, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And after you shocked her, she got sick and went to the nurse's office, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened when you went to the nurse's office, Jana?
I was trying to tell them what had happened, and in the process, I passed out, hit my head on the secretary's desk.
You went to the hospital?
Yes, ma'am.
They just did a little observation?
Yes, ma'am.
Were there for a short time and went home?
Yes, ma'am.
What did this thing feel like, Jana?
It made me jump, and I mean, it was really sharp. I had two, like, little holes in my back,
to where the object had been on my skin.
Did you really?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's like a burn?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, they tried to show me the mark whenever they brought me into the office. They raised her shirt on her back, and I did not see no mark. They didn't show me.
First of all, I think it's outrageous that they would expose her back to you. What right do you have to see her back?
They did it, not me.
Well, I think that's outrageous. I think that the school, you ought to have a good talking to with the school.
I didn't realize that.
That's what he's telling me. They have absolutely no right to do that. You know, your daughter's a grown young lady. How dare they do that? Let me see your medical bills. Some of these are duplicates that you haven't
Yes,
paid?
ma'am.
Okay, that's what I thought. So the entire amount of unreimbursed medical bills is what?
I believe it was $961. Yes, ma'am.
You're suing for $1,150. It's too bad that you weren't suing for more. I would have given you more. You're not just entitled to medical bills. You're entitled to your daughter's distress. She fell down. She hit her head. She was embarrassed. She was hurt.
Can I add something, Your Honor?
Sure.
Since that incident, we had taken her out of that school and moved her to a different school, and not realizing that she had changed schools, they also changed his school, and he, in fact, brought another one of those objects to school.
No,
I don't want you... Shh. Don't speak. Go ahead.
And was shocking some kids that, another time already this year.
May I say something, please? No, I did not have another one. They searched me, and I did not have one. They brought me into the office. I talked to Janet, and she apologized because her friend thought I had one. She apologized to me, saying...
Had you touched one that day?
No, I have not touched one since the day I did that to her.
I would say that that's a very good idea. You have to take responsibility, sir. If your mother's not teaching you to take responsibility, maybe you'll learn something here today. If you do something wrong, you are responsible. Let me give you an example of how ridiculous your mother's defense is. Let's say you take a gun, a fake gun, and go up to somebody and say, give me your money. And that person has a bad heart condition. And as a result of that heart condition, drops dead. Now, you went up there just to rob them. And the police charge you with murder. A murder that was committed during the course of a robbery, which is a felony. Now, your mother would say, well, he's be guilty of attempted robbery, but he's certainly not guilty of murder. He's not responsible for the man's pre-existing heart condition, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's your defense.
Not really.
Yeah, sure it is.
If
That's
you
your
can feel
defense.
This is nothing.
That's your defense.
Ma'am,
I'm giving
can I
you an
say something?
example of your defense, madam. Your defense is he only meant to take his money. He didn't intend to kill him.
He wasn't going to harm anyone. He was playing. Right. Well, it doesn't hurt.
If he can grow up in spite of you, Ms. Gilsdorf, he's a very lucky man.
He's doing fine.
In any event, judgment for the plaintiff in the full amount of the request, $1,150. I wish you good luck, sir. You're going to need it.
Oh, yeah.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bufano versus Kowalski. Step forward, please.
19-year-old waitress Tamara Bufano is suing her former friend, 20-year-old waitress Chanel Kowalski, for the cost to get her car out of impound. Chanel says Tamara owes her for a set of rims.
Miss Bufano, you loaned your car to the defendant, who
Correct.
was, according to your complaint, related to your ex-boyfriend? Or
She was just close friends with my ex.
a close friend of your ex-boyfriend?
Yes.
She acknowledges that if anything happened to your car, she would take care of it, right?
Yes.
She drove the car broke down, she left it on the road, the car got towed, cost you money to get it out of impound, you want your impound fees.
Correct.
She says she paid you some towards the impound fees, some money towards the impound fees, which you acknowledge that she gave you some money towards the impound fees, but then decided she didn't have to give you any more. Right? Tell me why.
Because about 1.5 years ago, me and my ex-husband gave her these rims to put on for tires, and she put them on her car, borrowing them, and she crashed her car 4 days later. The rims were $2,000. She told me that she told me and my ex-husband she was going to pay us back. She gave us $20 a week for maybe 3 weeks and never paid me back again. So when this happened with her car, I kind of was put in the same position, and she still owes me over $1,900 for that.
You don't have a counterclaim?
It happened over 1 year ago. They wouldn't let me, they said.
Well, so 1 year ago it's passed.
Right.
So this is a very easy case.
I pretty much dropped it because she was my friend. That's why when this happened, I kind of said, you know, you did the same thing, so.
Duh. You have no counterclaim, so I can't entertain your set. What you want to do is do a set-off. Be a grown-up. How much did you give her towards the impound fees?
I believe $70 to $80.
Okay, how much were the impound fees?
$191.
How much did she give you?
Nowhere near $70 to $80. It was $20. 4 payments of $5 each.
The impound fees were $191, and she gave you 4 payments of $5 each. Even my rudimentary math, that comes up to $171. Would that be a fair statement?
Fair statement.
Why are you suing her for $191?
Well, because we ended up making an agreement after lots of fighting and arguing that she would pay me half of the impound fee by October 1st. Otherwise, I was going to file small claims. Well, she said there should be no reason why she wouldn't do it. Every time I asked for money, she didn't have it. She said, I have other things to do, but she was always partying and going out. So
I'm asking you, what'd you add on the other $20 for?
She owed me $20 from another situation.
I'm not hearing another situation. I don't have another situation here. So what she owes you, according to you, is $171.
Yes.
By the way, did she ever say to you at any point, you owe me money for the rims and that's why I'm not going to pay you?
No, she didn't say that exactly to me. She said something about that she doesn't think it's fair that I didn't pay her for the rims. But she didn't say, you know, I'm not paying you because of the rims.
Okay, and the rims were her ex-husband's rims.
Right, and they were $500, not $2,000. They said I would have to pay $500.
Just a second, but they were her ex-husband's rims.
Right.
They were bought with our wedding money. They were bought with our wedding money.
All right. That was... You owe her $171. Judgment for the plaintiff. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 4.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gay versus Yaya. Step forward, please.
26-year-old welder Dwayne Gay is suing his ex-fiancée, 26-year-old caretaker Misty Yaya, for slashing his leather couches. Misty says the furniture was half hers. She is countersuing for the cost of a VCR and the return of a car alarm.
Mr. Gay, you and the defendant lived together and you were in a relationship. According to your complaint, she became angry one evening and took a knife and slashed leather sofas that belonged to you.
Yes.
You want her to give you the value of those leather sofas.
Yes.
That's what your claim is. The defendant says that she did, in fact, slash your sofas. Her defense is, first of all, she was angry with good reason, she will tell me about. And second, she said that they weren't just yours, they belonged really to both of you. They were a gift to both of you. She has a counterclaim because she says that when you left, you took a VCR that belonged to her, and there was some sort of an alarm that she paid for that she wants to be compensated for, that's in your car or your truck.
My truck.
Okay. How long did you live together?
A year.
Just the two of you?
And her son, her 3-year-old son.
And when did this couch slashing take place?
The first week of June.
First week of June?
Yes.
Oh. You tell me what happened, sir.
3 weeks prior to that, we got into it, we wasn't agreeing, so I decided to move out. In the process of moving out, my mother came over, and she convinced me to give it another shot. So I gave it another shot. 3 weeks later, one night, she went out, and my mother called me, and she was over at my niece's house playing cards, and she was going to leave, and she owed me some money. So she said, I needed my money to come and get it. So I left. I wasn't gone no more than 20 minutes. Her friend called me and told me not to go home, and I was like, why? And she told me that don't go home because Misty sliced up my furniture. So when I got to the door, she was at the door talking on the phone, yelling and screaming. I said, could you open the door? She was like, no, go back with that you were with. And I was like, who you calling? My mother? And she's like, no. I said, well, that's who I was with.
What time was this that you went over to pick up the money from your mother?
About 12:30 that night.
And you were gone for how long, sir?
Less than a half hour.
Okay. Now I'll hear from you.
Okay. This was a Friday, and it was not in June. It was in May.
Could you look at me, please?
I'm sorry. It was in May, the middle of May. And I didn't leave the house until 1:05 in the morning.
Where did you go at 1:05 in the morning?
There was a little girly get-together on the other side of town that we had talked about the night before. The reason why I left so late is because he didn't get back until 12:30.
Where was he until 12:30 at night?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's 12:30. He comes home at 12:30.
Yep.
And you leave at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
To go with some friends. Now, where's your 3-year-old son?
He's at home in the bed sleeping at this time.
So you leave him home
with Dwayne,
your son?
Yes.
And my son.
And his 7-year-old also.
You had a 7-year-old who was staying with you?
8-year-old.
An 8-year-old who was staying with you?
I keep my son on weekends.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I go over to the other side of town. I'm there for about a good 45 minutes. My friend comes in. At that time, it's about 2:45 in the morning. She says, Misty, I saw Dwayne's truck on Bates, a couple streets over from where we live. My first thought is, well, where is my son? So I stop doing whatever it is I'm doing. I drive down Bates. His truck is not on Bates. I go home. My son is sleeping. All the lights are on. TV's on. Nobody's home. His son is sleeping.
Just a minute. Where was he?
I don't know. That's a good question.
So you got home and he wasn't home?
No, he was not there. He was not on Bates.
The two children were home?
Yes. All the lights on. Nobody home. By this time, it's 2:45, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I go in my house, me and 2 other people. So I tell one of them, stay here, I'm going to find Dwayne. I go back on Bates. I proceed to knock on doors, look in windows, this and that. Lights are off. Everybody's sleeping. He ain't been there for a minute. So I go home, and in my fit of rage, I cut up the furniture. Now, by this time, it's 4:30. I'm on the phone talking to my cousin, telling her I can't believe he did this, this and that, blah, blah, blah. That's why I was on the phone with when he came to the door. And yes, Judge, those are my exact words, what he just stated to you.
Did you leave those children home alone?
For about a half hour, yes.
I don't care if you left them home for half a second. How dare you leave those children home alone?
Well, Your Honor, she can't complain because she did the same thing that day. And when she left and went to the doctor, I had an appointment. So I left for my friend to pick her up and take her to a doctor's appointment. He went to go pick up her and both of the kids. She told him, no, the kids can stay there by themselves. They were wide awake. This is like 11 o'clock in the morning. So she left the kids there by themselves for like 3 hours before I got home.
Did you leave the children home alone?
I left them there for 1 hour, from 11 to 12. Yes, I did.
I want to tell you something. The two of you shouldn't have children. You don't leave a 7 or an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old home alone for a minute. What is wrong with you?
I had to go to the doctor.
I don't care whether you were bleeding from every artery. You take your children with you. You don't leave children home alone. I don't really give a rat's behind about your couches. I'm amazed that you still have your children. Do you still have your children?
Yes, ma'am.
Shh. Does the mother of your child know that you left that child home alone?
Yeah.
If you're listening, I wouldn't let you have my child again if you leave a child home in the middle of the night. And your response to me is, she did the wrong thing, so I could do the wrong thing?
No.
What happens if there's a fire?
Same time that I left them there, Judge, I alerted my downstairs neighbor that they were there.
And you think that's okay? Did you buy these couches?
Yes.
From whom?
My brother.
You have a bill of sale?
Yes.
Let me see it.
And I also have pictures of the furniture, Your Honor.
I don't care about pictures. She says she slashed the couches. Did you ever see this bill of sale before? That his brother sold him a black leather living room set for $1,200?
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, baloney. Take it away.
Never seen it before.
All right, now tell me about this VCR and the car alarm.
I got my income taxes back. We went to Best Buy, bought 3 VCRs and a truck alarm, 5 movies, 5 CDs.
Okay, you bought 3 VCRs?
Yes.
How many did he leave home?
2.
And he took 1?
Yes.
And what about the truck alarm?
He took the alarm when he left.
No, how did you come to purchase the alarm for his car?
He needed it.
So
I
he bought it. Good, so he took it. So you have the alarm in your truck? And you have 1 VCR?
Yes.
And who's got the cut-up couches?
I do.
Sounds to me as if you deserve each other.
But, Your
your
Honor.
case is dismissed. This is your counterclaim. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Link versus Booth. Step forward, please.
Business owner Joyce Link is suing her neighbor, carpenter John Booth, for damage to her vehicle. Joyce says a drunken John fell against her van.
Miss Link, the defendant is a neighbor of yours.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that he and a bunch of his drunken friends were coming home one evening and fell on your car or van, causing a dent in the van.
Yes.
Mr. Booth says it wasn't him.
Okay.
So tell me when this happened.
It was on a Saturday night, February 16th, 2002, around 12:31 a.m. in the morning. Me and my husband and children were in our house asleep, and we were awoken by some loud voices outside. So we got up, me and my husband, and looked out our bedroom window, and it was Mr. Booth and 4 of his friends. They were drunk, falling into our van and my next-door neighbor's bushes. And we proceeded to go outside, me and my husband, and I asked them to please get off my vehicle. And the next thing I know, Mr. Booth is yelling about, you know, him and his friends.
No, what was he saying to you, Miss Link? I've heard everything.
He was yelling that we woke my effing neighbors up, and one of his friends had apologized for being on our vehicle. He told me that he was sorry, and Mr. Booth yelled, "Sorry, hell, I fell." I have pictures of my vehicle and my neighbor's bushes that happened that night.
Okay, can I see them?
On the matter, and no one would come to the door, so my husband had wrote a note and taped it to his front door. Then on Monday morning, I was on my way out, and Mr. Booth's wife had approached me.
What was the note? What did the note say?
That they needed to get in touch with us about the damages that was done to our van due to him and his friends being drunk that Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Booth's wife, she's seen the damages, and she said that she would let her husband know and to get an estimate, and the damages would be taken care of.
Did Mr. Booth ever contact you?
Yes, that evening. Again, I was outside, and he approached me, and he apologized for what happened and told me that him and his friends don't remember anything. They were too drunk. Again, he did apologize, and he said to go get an estimate that he would take care of the damages. So I did go get an estimate, and I left it on their door because that's how we were notifying each other. So I did go get the estimate, and I left it taped to his front door.
Okay, Mr. Booth?
So far, everything's semi-right. Yeah, we did go out and get drunk. We got a little carried away. The wife was feeling sick, so we went up to the neighborhood bar so I wouldn't bother her. We were up there partying, got a little carried away, come on home. We were pretty intoxicated, okay, yeah. And when we passed her house, the guy that actually did the damage, him and his girlfriend were lagging behind me. I was already in my driveway when her car got damaged.
Were these people that you were out drinking with, were they men or women?
Both. We were all couples.
Well, not you weren't a couple.
No, I was in front.
Shh. Let me finish, sir. You weren't a couple. Your wife was sick.
Yes.
That means there were 5 of you.
Yes.
And where were these 2 couples going from the bar?
To my house.
What were they going to do in your house?
They're going to spend the night.
So they were invited guests of
Yes.
yours. And you escorted them to the bar?
Mm-hmm.
And then you all got drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were escorting your friends, invitees of yours, back to your home for the purposes of sleeping there.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Then I don't give a rat's behind who it was that fell on the van, sir. You're responsible.
Okay,
Okay! That's good. That's what you should have said 3 months ago. Mr. Booth, in the last few months, how much money have you sent them towards the repair of the car?
I don't feel like I sent anything.
What do you mean
I
you don't
didn't do
feel
the
like?
damage.
Didn't you just follow what I said? Didn't you just follow what I said?
Okay, I was escorting him back to the house. He fell into the van.
You were responsible for your guests. If your guests become rowdy, and as a result of their being rowdy, cause damage to the neighbor's property, they don't have to go around and hustle and find out the names and addresses of your guests.
I gave it to her.
You're responsible, and if you feel as if your friends are responsible, you go get the money from them.
I was trying.
I was trying. What do you do for a living?
I'm a carpenter.
Mm-hmm. The lowest estimate that you have, Ms. Link, is $519.66.
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff. If you have friends, you make sure your friends are well taken care of, sir. And if they cause damage, you are responsible. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. This is case number 108 on the calendar in the matter of Gibbs versus Mbemba Sidon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Who is Mr. Sidon?
Brian.
And what's your first name?
Brian.
And yours?
Mitch.
On your birth certificate.
Mitchell.
Mitchell, I'm not your friend.
Okay.
Mitchell. Now, Miss Gibbs, did you know Brian and Mitchell before this incident?
No, ma'am.
Stand up straight. According to your complaint, Miss Gibbs, you're sitting in your car, and these 2 idiots were having a fight.
Yes, ma'am.
And they ended up on the hood of your car, causing dents in the hood of your car. You want them to be responsible.
Yes, I was studying for a final.
Sitting in your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Brian and Mitchell say that A, there was no damage to your car, and B, if there was damage to your car, the other one did it.
Okay.
And then we have Brian, who is counterclaiming, because he says that because you are vindictive in pursuing this matter, he will probably be expelled from school and wants you to pay for his semester's tuition. That's your counterclaim. Is that
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
Brian?
Yes, ma'am.
Please don't laugh. Please don't laugh at Brian. All right, Miss Gibbs. What was the date of the incident?
May 13, 2002.
What time?
It happened, I'd say, around 1:40.
In the afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did this happen?
This happened in Nassau Community College by B1 in the south parking lot.
Did you see this fight before it ended up on the hood of your car?
I saw it from beginning to end.
Tell me what you saw.
I saw Brian walking towards the school, and he was passing a green Chevy Malibu. And in the green Chevy Malibu, there were two girls and Mitchell. As he was passing, I guess somebody said something. He stopped, turned around, walked back towards the car, got into a confrontation with one of the girls through the passenger window. That's when I saw Mitchell exit the car. Brian began to argue with Mitchell. They got into each other's faces. Brian hit Mitchell, and they began fighting. That's when I saw Brian.
Would you just a second? Would you go over and have a brief word with him?
Sure.
Thank you.
What I need for you to do is I need for you to respect this court. So
Yes,
if you
sir.
would stand up straight.
Yes, sir.
And try to restrict your laughter.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
My man.
We're sorry to disturb you. You have your train of thought?
Yes.
Brian hit Mitchell.
Brian hit Mitchell. They continued fighting. Next thing I know, Mitchell's body is on my car. Brian is on top of Mitchell. I see him hit Mitchell a couple of times. Then Brian completely flees the scene. At that point...
Took off?
Yes. When he took off, I got out of my car, confronted Mitchell, told him, look at the damage that you've done to my car. I want this taken care of. That's when I got the phone number of one of the girls that was in the car with him in the green Malibu. So I can get in touch with him to get the money for my car.
Have pictures of your car?
Yes, I do. I have the police report. I have pictures of my car.
Let me see it all.
The whole time that this was happening, I was on the phone with my boyfriend from the United States Merchant Marine Academy.
Thank you. So it wasn't the hood of your car, it was really the side
It
panel
was
of
the
your
side front panel of the driver's side, and there were some dents on the hood. And an object couldn't have done that, like me hitting something or something
No.
crashing into my car, because the paint is in perfect shape. There's no scratches or anything.
Okay. Now, Brian, I would like you to tell me, you're passing by this green car, and evidently you wanted to say something to one of the gals in the car. Tell me what you said to her.
Well, actually, what happened was somebody shouted something from the car. There was a laugh. There had been a lot of ridiculing by these people before. It was finals week, and I was going to walk away, but I was under so much pressure from my test. I said, you know, I'm tired of putting up with this. I went back to the car.
What did they say?
They were laughing. Somebody shouted a profanity I'd rather not say. And,
You could say it. I've heard everything.
call me a...
Someone in the car.
Yeah.
Male or a female voice?
It sounded like a female voice. So I approached the car, and right away they started denying it, and we mixed words. Mitch got out of the car, and we...
When you say you mixed words, what did you say?
You know what? I can't remember word for word. I maybe, just yelled back and forth. Here's where the true story starts now. He got out of the car, Mitchell. We confronted Elias, my witness. He was involved, too, although she never even remembers him being there, so I don't know which fight she was watching.
Which actually I do.
Elias comes up, he tries to break us up. At the time, there was really going to be no confrontation. What happened was, Mitchell, I don't know, went to push me away a little bit, and I made contact with him. At that time, he turned around, he went to his car, he grabbed what was an ice cleaner, one of those brush stick ice cleaners, and he came at me to hit me. Elias tried to grab him to stop him. I tried to grab the stick. That's when we got into a scuffle, which lasted about 20 seconds, maybe 25 seconds. I never threw the first punch. I never ever put Mitch on top of the car. And after the thing, I did not flee the scene right away. We walked away, we calmed down. I left the school so there would be no further problems. I never even seen her there. I never saw a car get hit by anybody. I wasn't on a car. I surely didn't put him on a car. I didn't punch him first.
Now we'll hear from you.
Well, I was in the car, the girls, and we were laughing, just waiting for class to end, just hanging out in the car. And Brian had walked by. I don't know if they made a direct statement towards him, but he took it that way, came to the car, started telling the girls he's gonna strangle them, or just do it, being a bully. And he asked me if I had a problem. I said, no, I got no problem. So he told me to get out the car. I got out the car to try to tell him, relax, we don't need to fight. You're 25, I'm 20 years old, there's no need for this. And he headbutts me. So I fight back, and then as I'm fighting back, his friend comes in. They say they broke it up, but where I come from, if you get into a fight one-on-one, and the other person's friend grabs me, I think, it's a two-on-one. Then I went back to the car, got a shovel, a scraper to defend myself, because he's a pretty big guy, little guy, got his friend with him, and with two girls. I struck him with it, I had to do what I had to do. And then we had a little scuffle, this and that. I don't know if we dented the girl's car or if it was done like that already, but she had confronted me saying this happened, and if it did happen, then I'll take care of it, but if not, then I don't really think we did that damage.
Now I'd like to hear about your counterclaim.
Yeah. Up to this point, I have no previous record. I have no arrest record. My academic record is stellar. Made the dean's list the past 2 years. I'm too old to be getting involved in frivolous encounters. She tells the dean, and her story has so many holes in it, it's hard for me to even sit there and listen to it. And now because of this, my records are impounded, so I can't transfer schools. The least I'm going to get is academic probation, which ruins my scholarship chances, which I have plenty of. And at most, I'm getting expelled. So I'm going to lose a half semester of my life for this, for a false statement, because I know absolutely 100% I did not dent her car.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You know one thing. You know when you were passing the green car and somebody called you a...
Yes, I know that
you should have kept walking.
I should have. But
right.
Your Honor.
That, you know.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
At the moment when these two were...
Look right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know, Brian was just a little upset at...
Look at me.
And later today...
I said I will definitely honor our initial agreement. I don't in any way want to...
Stick you.
Right. She started to get really upset.
Well, just show me the rest of the payments that you made.
That's the only payment that I made.
Why? Why?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. College student Eloisa Gibbs says her car was damaged during a fight between schoolmates Brian Mbemba and Mitch Seiden. Brian and Mitch are blaming each other.
So you're dealing with a couple of girls, 19, 20-year-old, big mouths.
Yes.
Right? Who call you a name. You're not a are you?
Absolutely not.
All right. So that you knew it wasn't true when they called you that bad name.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So you keep on walking.
I understand.
You keep on walking. That you know for sure. Then we go back to the police report. Police interviewed witnesses who stated that Mitch Seiden was the person who exited the vehicle to fight, and that they did in fact fall on the complainant's vehicle.
Okay.
Independent witness, not her. You had no vendetta against her. She doesn't even know who you are.
Absolutely.
Why
But
in the world?
I see this as an opportunity to make money off of something that was already there. Hey,
Oh,
look,
really?
fight, opportunity. Let's make these guys pay for my damage.
My boyfriend saw my car prior to me going to school and knows there was no damage
Miss
to my
Gibbs,
car.
Miss Gibbs, you need not answer him. Now, in all fairness to you, Brian, you have a witness here. I will hear the witness.
Thank you.
Who wants to stand up and be counted?
I'll stand up, Your Honor. At the moment when these two were...
Look right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. When these two were all fighting, there was no force against any car. Nobody fell on any car. There was no need for her to explain the car dent. There was these people right here didn't cause.
Brian was walking by himself past the green car. Where did you come from?
I came back with him.
Just a minute. Brian is walking past the
Brian
green
walked
car.
past the car, and then I see him turn around and walk back to the car. I tried to catch up to him to see what his problem was. When I went up to the car, and he was trying to ask the girls who were calling him a name or something, Mitch stepped out of the car and told Brian that it wasn't him. I don't know, Brian was just a little upset about the girls laughing at him or calling him a name. So
Look at me!
These two started to fight a little, but I didn't see them fall on any car nor cause a dent to any car at
Thank
all.
you very much for your participation.
You're welcome.
Brian, your counterclaim is dismissed. It's nonsense.
Okay,
And as far as the damage to the plaintiff's car, there isn't a question in my mind that the two of you caused the damage to the car. You should have kept on walking past the green car. And Mitch, you shouldn't have gotten out of the green car.
And I just try to calm him down.
You shouldn't have gotten out of the green car. Whatever the situation was, the two of you were responsible for her damage. So, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $870 to be shared by the two defendants, and the counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
The parties are excused. You may step out.
If I dented the car, I must have been blacked out during the time because I can't recall it at all.
I believe that Judge Judy made the right decision.
Whatever happened, happened. Whatever the way the case went, it went. Everything works out the way it does.
If you know you didn't do anything wrong, make sure you got it right.
Stay in your house, lock your doors, and don't go outside so you don't get sued.
And now...
Now, this is case number 185 on the calendar in the matter of Sanchez versus Ruiz Mendoza. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Ms. Sanchez, the defendant is your daughter, is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Your cause of action has two parts. One is for car payments that you say you were forced to make when your daughter didn't make payments on a car that she had bought. The second thing is for items of furniture that you bought for her with certain conditions. She reneged on the conditions, and you feel as if she should be responsible for paying for the furniture, or you want it back. So let's deal with the car first. Tell me about this car.
Okay, and she had come back from Alabama in around April, May of 2001. And
How long had she been in Alabama?
About 3-4 months. So she calls me and asks me if I could possibly help her get a car, that she had a job and she needed transportation. So I called my banker and asked him if I could borrow some money to help my daughter buy a car. And he said, well, you already have a $1,500 note now. And I said, well, she agreed that if I could borrow the money, that she would also pay what I had owed, you know, just so she could have transportation.
I don't understand that. Run that by me again.
I already owed $1,500. I had a note myself. I asked him if I could borrow an additional $2,700. He said, well, he could combine the two together, and the payments would be $202.29 for 24 months.
Go ahead.
This year in maybe February, March, I don't know when, she had an accident in the car, and her and her boyfriend had gone to Oklahoma, and she left the Oldsmobile down there and abandoned it. So
up until that time, she had made the car payments?
Yes.
And how much was she making in the car payments?
$202.29.
But that also included your note.
Right.
How much were you paying to the bank on your note, Ms. Sanchez?
I think mine was $85 a month.
So she paid $1,105 on your note.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And so when she never did go get the car back, when me and my husband went over, it was a $250 deductible. Plus I had to have new tires put on it, and I had to have it all reconditioned.
And then what'd you do with it?
Well, I sold it on August 15th.
Okay, what did you sell it for?
For $2,200.
$2,200 for the car.
The payoff was 19 something.
Say $1,900.
Mm-hmm.
Now you had to put on new tires. And how much did you spend for new tires?
I spent $217. Then I had to have all new lug nuts on it. They were $32.33.
How many payments did you make for her?
June, July. Because that she had the accident.
$672 so
She
far
first said that
is
she
what you
did
owe
it.
your daughter. That's what you owe your daughter. She didn't owe you. You owe her. Now tell me about the furniture.
Okay, she has called me. She has been to my house already 4 times this year. She's always got an excuse that her and her boyfriend are fighting and all that. And the time before last that she called, she said that he said he loved her, but he couldn't stand her kids. And so she called me crying and asked me if she could come home. And she did. And she promised she wouldn't go back, but she did. So this last time that she came, I told her that I would help her any way that I could. And I had just refinanced my home, and I was going to have some extra money. And I told her, I said, that I will help you get set up in an apartment. I will pay the deposit. I will help you get the furniture that you need to set it up for you and the boys if you're willing to stay here in Gainesville and not go back to him. Oh, I'm not going back, Mom, I promise. So I bought her a sofa and love seat. There was a TV and VCR that was bought. I paid $150 down deposit on the apartment for her. I have all the stuff here.
And then she went back to the boyfriend?
Yes, she did.
So how long did she stay in the apartment that you lived in?
She never moved in, Your Honor. She went and got the cashier's check and cashed it back in for the money.
Did you cash the check that your mother gave you for down payment on an apartment?
No, I put the deposit.
What cash did your mother give you for the apartment?
She didn't give me any cash. I put the deposit. I have the receipt. It's in my name and everything.
Did you
Yes,
give her money?
I wrote her a check, Your Honor, for $150 cash because they wouldn't take a personal check at the apartment complex. I gave her a $150 check. She went to the bank, and while she's in the bank, she filled it out into her name, so that way she could get it back.
I believe your mother. I believe your mother. Don't lie. You know, I mean, so far, you're in pretty good shape. Your mother owes you $672. But don't lie to me, because that makes me feel stupid. Did your mother give you a check for $150?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Your Honor, I love my
Jump
daughter.
out. Just a minute. I got it. I got the drill. No, I got the drill. What other cash did you give her?
I bought the sofa and love suit for her.
Forget about the sofa and love seat. According to what you just testified to me, you said to her, I'm going to help you get set up, but you have to promise me you're not going to go back to this jerk. And she said to you at the moment, I promise you I'm never going to go back to this jerk.
Yes, sir.
The other part of what you would have to say in order to make that kind of an agreement is, that's binding is, and if you go back to him, you must return to me the furniture or the value of the furniture. Do you understand?
Well, I did say that at one time.
Well. But that's not what you told me. You told me what the conversation was with her. How old are your children?
7 and 5.
Now, Mr. Dreamboat, is he the father of either of these children?
No, ma'am.
What kind of work does he do?
Excuse me?
What word didn't you understand that I just said?
He doesn't work.
Does he not work because he is in some way physically challenged?
No, ma'am, he has, we're trying to file for disability for him.
So he's in some way physically challenged?
He has to have surgery, but since he's older, he can't have tubes in his ear. He has drainage that cause real bad migraines.
How much older is he than you are?
He's 34.
A 34-year-old unemployed somebody who wants to put drains in his ears because he gets headaches and he can't work. Let me ask you this question. And you know, I've been around the block a couple of times. How many times have you called the police with regard to domestic violence in your home? Make sure that I get a correct answer.
One time.
It take a lot for you to call the police to come to your house because...
No, ma'am.
Really not? You mean there was just a little yelling?
No, he yelled at me and I called the police because he was throwing things.
He was being violent around your two children who are how old? 5 and 7.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's not the father of those two children.
No, ma'am.
How many times have you had to move away because of him?
2 times.
How old are you?
25.
Do your 5 and 7-year-old sons have the same father?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Is he employed?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he have any communication with the children?
No, ma'am.
Is that by his choice?
Yes, ma'am.
Another idiot. So now you're 24, 25, and have chosen 2 losers that I know about.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You want to be a bum magnet. That's your problem. Grow up.
And later today,
all the walls were torn out.
We had talked about it months before.
He said it was the spur of the moment, his exact words.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ann Sanchez says her daughter, Felicia Ruiz Mendoza, owes for an unpaid car loan. Ann says Felicia abandoned the vehicle out of state.
You can't do this anymore. I don't care if you never have a boyfriend the rest of your life. Either that or take your 2 sons, get down on your knees, beg your mother, say, listen, I made a mistake. Could you please take care of your grandsons? But you're going from one place to another place to another place, going from one loser to another with 2 little boys who are the innocents. Why do you want to do that? I mean, you have a counterclaim that your mother assaulted you when you told her you were leaving again?
I didn't.
I don't even want to hear the story. It's a good thing you got a hair left in your head. She doesn't want you, who she loves, or especially 2 innocent grandchildren, to keep going through this migrant lifestyle that you've selected for your children. It's terrible. You made car payments on the car for a year, $200 a month. That's part of your counterclaim. Where can you rent a car for less than $200 a month? Anywhere in the world?
No, ma'am.
Not as far as I know. So you don't get that back. The next part of your counterclaim is that your mother called Child Protective Services on you.
Yes, ma'am.
Probably with good cause. From what I hear and from my life's experience, probably with good cause. You called Child Protective Services?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and what did you tell them?
I told them that I was worried about my 2 grandsons, that they were living in a real bad area in town, and that both of them had a drinking problem, and they have the kids in the car going up and down the highway all the time. In October of 2000, they were also called because the children were left in the house alone while she was out running around somewhere. She had left them in the care of a small little girl.
This 34-year-old with the tubes in his ears, he has a drinking problem?
Yes, they both do.
Both do.
All the time they're drinking. I mean, they don't buy cans, they buy the big quarts.
Your children here today in court?
No, ma'am.
Where are they?
They're at home.
With whom?
With Carlos.
Carlos isn't well enough to be employed, but he's well enough to watch your 2 sons?
Yes, ma'am.
Other than watching your 2 sons, does Carlos have any biological children of his own?
Yes, ma'am.
How did... You know that I knew that? So at least there's something about Carlos that works. How old are his children?
He, 12, 11, and 10, or 9.
So this bum isn't paying any child support either because he's got tubes in his ears. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting my drift?
Yes, ma'am.
You better grow up. You made 2 babies. They are innocent. You're guilty. If you brought them into the world, and you brought them into the world with somebody who's not interested in being their father, then it's your responsibility to be both mother and father to them. And you're not supposed to introduce them to another person who's a bum. You want to be a bum magnet. That's your problem. But you have 2 children. And if you want to be a bum magnet, then you have to do the right thing and you have to turn over custody of your children to your mother. I mean, how do you know that Carlos isn't home right now drinking a big brew and sitting around and watching television or doing whatever he's doing? How do you know that?
I don't.
You don't. You don't know whether he's hitting them. You don't know whether he's angry with them. You don't know whether he's locking them in a closet. You don't know whether he's drunk. You don't know what the hell he's doing. And that's better off for your children than being with their grandmother. Grow up! Your counterclaim's dismissed. So is your claim. And I want to tell you something. You have a responsibility. If you believe that your grandsons are being neglected, you have a responsibility to petition for custody in a family court. Now, you may not get it, but if you don't at least take that step and something happens to your grandsons, you're going to be sorry for the rest of your life. Do you understand? That's all. Bye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I thought the judge was fair. Like I said, it wasn't about money. It was about principle. How, you try to help your children and the way they stab you in the back, more or less.
There was no reason for her to bring me here. I didn't owe her anything.
Like Judge Judy said, he's a bum. He's a no-working...
寿司がピスあるのやつだ。